It up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime years.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego, and a happy Tuesday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. And, man, do we have a jam-packed show for you guys today. I was fired up to show up to work today. I was excited. I got up. And you know what? And this is the nice, little 2 weeks that you get of falling back, which I know everybody hates. I mean, I get in that discussion as much as, the next person. The whole falling back and the daylight savings thing in the spring and yada, 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 yada. But the first couple of weeks of this, I'm waking up earlier. I'm getting more rest because it's black. It's dark outside a lot earlier. And so I was up early working on the rundown, seeing all of Frank's notes, and we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about on today's show. College basketball last night, we'll briefly discuss. We got college basketball again tonight for two other Division I programs. Congratulations to UCSD getting the victory. Clint Allard, congratulations to him getting his first D1 victory as a head coach. Congrats to Blanche Alverson getting her first victory as a head coach of the USD women's basketball team last night. We're going to talk about that in a second. We got qualifying offer discussions. We got free agency in Major League Baseball that's going to get started in a couple of days. We got so many different directions to get to. We got some sound on what's going on if Albert Pujols becomes the manager for the Padres. Like, who's he going to bring on? I mean, there's so much to talk about. And yes, Brenton Ford, bear down. Bear down, Arizona. It's a big win last night over Florida. Yes, Mike Swing.
No, you're good.
Guys, right. Frank's locked in, too. He's excited. We got so much to talk about. We got NFL overreactions, setting up the Padres offseason.
We have a wonderful meme that we just retweeted on our show account.
We did?
For
we do?
NFL trade deadline.
Oh, man.
Fan-made meme.
Is that today, the deadline? I didn't even think about that. Oh, wow. Rashid Shaheed has gotten traded today. The Mount Carmel Sun Devil leaving New Orleans. That's good news for, you know what? Good news for Rashid Shaheed. He gets to be closer to the West Coast now, as he's now in Seattle, and he doesn't have to deal with being on the worst team ever.
Sauce Gardner got traded today.
Sauce got traded. Oh, prolific. Don't even get me started on TCU basketball. I texted my buddies, is it too early to fire Jamie Dixon? Lost to a team that had 4 wins the year before. I mean, that is so typical TCU basketball. It's not even funny. TCU basketball is like one of the most embarrassing sports teams that the school has.
Not as embarrassing as Boise State last night.
That's true. Thank God for Boise State. Thank God for Boise State. What in the world? By the way, do we know about that? Do you know anything about D2 Hawaii Pacific? Does anybody have any idea about? They're in a shopping mall. Their school's at a shopping mall.
No, it's not. Are you serious?
Yeah, you saw a picture of it? It's ridiculous.
No, I haven't.
D2 Hawaii Pacific.
Jeebus.
Not even like a ranked D2 team. They are such a bad D2 school. They are so bad that it counts as a quad 5 loss. That's not even on the bracketologist page. You know, when they seed the tournament, you see quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. Quad 5 doesn't even exist. It's a quad 5 loss.
Was it an extra?
On the notes below, it says, when they get to their tournament profile, we'll say, oh, by the way, they also lost to D2 Hawaii Pacific.
Was that an exhibition game for Hawaii Pacific? Because Laverne was an exhibition game for San Diego.
The D2 schools that play those games, it doesn't affect. Sometimes it doesn't affect their record, and it does affect the D1 schools' record. So who knows?
Yeah, because
if I'm Hawaii Pacific, I'm asking for that to count now.
Yeah, because they mentioned Laverne. The game at UCSD last night was an exhibition game for Laverne. It wasn't a season game.
As bad as TCU basketball was last night, and by the way, they were bad. They almost came back and won. They were down 20 points at halftime, and they ended up losing by 4. They went on a 28-4 run just to give TCU fans hope. But as embarrassing as that was, nothing was more embarrassing than Boise State, which goes, again, like one of my friends who is a Irvine fan likes to talk smack on the Power Act 12. Hey, nice conference you got there, Power Act 12. Nice conference you got there. What's with the smirk, Frank? You know what I'm talking about.
No,
we're going to be the greatest basketball conference ever. We got San Diego State and Gonzaga and Boise State. Boise State lost to D2 Hawaii Pacific last night.
I'm just happy that Power Act 12 is
the
becoming
Power
a
Act
thing.
12.
I love how that's becoming a thing now.
The Power Act 12. Nice win last night. D2 Hawaii Pacific. By the way, Boise State popping off. We did before the season started. It was like, oh, Boise State could give San Diego State a run for their money. Give me a break. You got their local reporters, and I like BJ Rains. We've had him on the show multiple times, but like in the summertime, he's talking smack to the Utah State people that are upset that they didn't get picked second, whatever, the Mountain West Conference, blah. And he has like some like smirk comment on there, and all of a sudden, like Utah State people are just living on it. Living on it. D2 Hawaii Pacific. Stunning. This is what's great about college basketball. This is what's great about college basketball. You know what's not great about college basketball? The game I did last night. Oh, let me tell you about the game I did last night. I could not believe it. I said on the broadcast on ESPN Plus last night at least 3 or 4 times, quote, I have never seen anything like this before. You got to listen to this. I mean, this happened last night in San Diego. So Drake Hills, who joins us each and every Friday, we were calling the USD women's basketball game last night. Game 1 of Blanche Alverson's career, the new era of USD women's basketball. And it's an exciting era. Blanche is a cool person. She runs a great program. She's been part of great programs before. The women on the team love playing for Blanche. I got to interview Jaden Rhodes after the game last night. She dropped 22 in the victory. She talked about how great it is to play for this coaching staff and Blanche Alverson. Everything's great. I felt a little bad that her debut was against Bethesda. Here's what you need to know about Bethesda. By the way, let me ask you something, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
What is a griffin? Do you know what a griffin is?
It's like a bird. It's like a bird.
A griffin?
Kind of thing. Yeah.
It's a bird kind of thing. It's a lion with wings.
Yeah.
Basically is what a griffin is.
Yeah.
Here's
It's
where
a
everything
mythical,
started poorly last night with Bethesda as I am getting my notes together. Okay. Their logo is a griffin.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what their team name is? The Bethesda Lion Angels. I'm sorry, the what?
Oh, boy.
Why don't you just call them the Griffins? Is there another Bethesda out there that's also the Griffins? The Bethesda Lion Angels. I thought they were lying. I thought there's no way that this is their actual team name. And so yesterday, Frank, I stayed late after the show. You had already left. I was working on the Bethesda notes.
Yes.
The Lion Angels. Lion Angels. And I'm putting together my boards. I already had the USD women's basketball team done. And I look up, and their website is just, it is what it is. It's an NAIA school. The roster is so small, I think there's no way this is their official roster. There's like 9 girls on the team, 9 women on the team. And it only has, half of them have it's just their names and their number. There's no years. There's no position they play. There's nowhere like where they're from. They're nothing. And they got so I go, okay, let me email the SID for USD. So I emailed them like, do you have a roster for tonight for Bethesda? More importantly, do you have a pronunciation guy? And he says, no, I have nothing. And you know what he does? He screenshots a photo. He screenshots the website that has the roster that I was already looking at. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't know if I can make boards because I don't know if Bethesda's going to show up and have a roster with all these girls on it that I have no idea. What?
No, it's just that's screenshots the roster page
from the
website
that I was already looking at.
It's like, brother, I think I could have figured that one out.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, thank you.
It's like when the cable tech tells you, is your television plugged in? Yeah, I would have thought to do that a while ago before calling you.
You know what sucks, though, is the fact that they actually have to say that because people don't actually have the TV plugged in.
I know, yeah.
So anyway, I get the whatever. I get to the game, and at the game, the printout of the roster is the screenshot of the website. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I guess this is what I got. And Alec at USD is like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. The only contact I've had is with their head coach. That's it. There's nobody else that works at Bethesda, apparently. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. We get to 25 minutes before the game starts. They're nowhere to be found. I have no idea. Bethesda is not there. There's nowhere that they are nowhere to be found.
Too busy working on Skyrim.
Apparently.
The next DLC for Skyrim.
Then all of a sudden, with about 25 minutes left on the pregame clock, Bethesda rolls in. And it's a coach, and it's 5 girls. And they all have their own little, Yeti water bottles. It looks like a high school team. And they walk in, and there's 5 of them. And they just start warming up.
Were all 5 at least on the roster?
All 5 were on the roster,
okay.
Yes. But I'm like, okay, there's 9 on the roster. Here's 5 of them. Maybe the other 4 are getting taped. So out of the 5, 4 of them are warming up, and one of them is sitting underneath the basket. She looks like she has been... she looks awful. She looks like she's incredibly sick. And then you find out that she actually is sick. She's super pale and you can't. She's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to describe. You know what a sick person is. She's Green Wilma sitting underneath the basket. I feel so bad for that girl. I'm like, okay, well, there's 4 warming up, and then there's her, and I'm waiting for the other players to come out. And I asked them, do we have a lineup yet? Down to 12 minutes for pregame.
You see those girls over there? That's your lineup.
And I was like, I don't see a lineup. And I talked to the guy that's putting in the stats, and he goes, well, they have 9 on the roster, so we're just kind of waiting. And I'm like, have we seen the other 4? He was like, no, not yet. About 8 minutes before the game starts, I'm like, this is it. This is there's nobody else coming. This is it. There's 1 coach, and there's 5 players. And one of them has been sitting the entire time and has no, she's probably in so much pain. It was sad. It was sad I was like, I can't believe this is the case. And so one of our producer, Tim, was just in the YouTube chat. He texts at one point, he goes, where are the lineups? Because he needs to make the graphics. And I responded with, Tim, I could probably tell you what the Bethesda lineup is. It's the 5 on the court right now. That's probably what it is.
I want to just reiterate, we're not mocking here. We're just...
I'm explaining the situation. This is crazy. This is college basketball.
We are not mocking in any way, shape, or form.
I feel so bad for Bethesda last night. I couldn't believe it. So then they get the starting line. It's just those 5. They have no trainer. They have no... And NAIA schools don't travel with trainers all the time. Meanwhile, their men's team's playing at Irvine. They got 19 on the roster with an assistant staff and everything like that. The only reason why I know that is because my friend was at the Irvine Bethesda men's basketball game. They had 19 players. The women's team has got 5. So they give it a shot. And it's just, you know how it is. I mean, I look up the box score. It was, I could not believe the graphics we had and everything like that.
It's 19-1 at the end of the first quarter.
19-1. Did I send you a picture of the?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, 19-1 at the end of the first quarter. It was the final score was 92-23. But here's where it got even crazier. So the poor girl that was sick made it through the first quarter. She made it through the first quarter, and then 4 minutes into the second quarter, The head coach calls a timeout, and she goes and lays on the bench. And I'm like, she ain't coming back in.
Yeah,
I mean, there's just no way she's coming back in. And she doesn't. And so they play with 4. And so then it becomes 5-on-4 for the rest of the game. And the 4 girls, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, they played their ass off last night for Bethesda. They had 4 players on the court. I could not believe it. And the whole time I'm like, why are they playing right now? Like what's the I mean, I understand like they're probably getting a check. I don't even know if they're still getting a check or not. When you pay these schools to come play you, if they don't give you a full game, like do you still have to pay them? Like I couldn't believe the stuff last night. I felt so bad at halftime because it's part of the ESPN Plus broadcast. You show the halftime stats. The halftime stats were they were so unbelievable.
I think you sent them to me.
I did send them to you. That my buddy was watching also was like, this can't be right. And I'm like, it is. That's 100% accurate.
Yeah, here it is. Bethesda points in the paint, 34-0 in favor of San Diego. Offensive turnover, 21 in favor of 21-0 in favor of San Diego. Second chance points, 12-0 in favor of San Diego. Fast break points, 21-0 in favor of San Diego, and bench points, 21-0 in favor of Bethesda. Actually,
no, it's that's wrong because there's nobody on the bench.
Sorry, my bad. In favor of San Diego.
There's nobody on the bench. As Frank mentioned, because I told him about it before we were doing the game, Frank flipped it on.
Yes, I
did. And tell us what you were explaining to the buddies you were talking to when you were watching that game.
They're on the bench for Bethesda. There is one coach, and singular coach, and folding chairs. That's it. That was it.
That's it. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Again, like we're not, Cole, I understand they're just happy to be playing college, but we're not making fun of them.
We're
just stunned because this is the first time that either one of us, and Braden had to call the game, that either one of us had seen a situation like this. So it was surprising to us. We're not making fun.
Shout out to Moreno last night for Bethesda. She had 11 points, 3 for 19 from the field, 3 for 14 from three-point range, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Able to hit some threes last night. But here's what Bethesda did. They had to do it. They would take the time up to the shot clock and then put up a shot with like 2 seconds left. They had probably 15 shot clock violations last night. And then the player that was sick was their point guard, and she was like their best player on the team in general. And then once she left, it was like, what do we do now? It was rough. I mean, it was hard to watch.
If you're USD, just out of pure curiosity, do you make it fair by going 4-on-4, or is that insulting?
The thing is, it's like you can't. It counts for USD. That counts as a win. Like you can't joke around with it, I guess.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not joking. I wouldn't joke around. I'd be like, okay, let's at least, they came here. They're doing their best. They've got no one else. Do we at least make it fair and go 4-on-4 instead of having a person advantage for the entire game? Or would that be insulting to not play all 5?
I don't know. I mean, they basically sat in a 2-3 zone the rest of the way. I mean, they tried to work on some things, but it was hard to do. If you look at the score by period, 19-1 in the first quarter, 22-8 in terms of points scored in the second quarter, 29-3 in the third quarter, 22-11 in the fourth quarter for a 92-23 victory. Bethesda shot 17% from the field, USD 51%. Total rebounds 59-15, points off turnovers 40-3. Bethesda turned the ball over 18 times. Total rebounds, 59-15, as mentioned before. 25-1 on the offensive rebound category. Second chance points, 22-0. Bench points, 72-0. Points in the paint, 52-2. Fast break points, 34-0. 5 blocks to 1, 6 steals to 1, 24 assists to 5. The game was tied for the first 1 minute and 35 seconds. I've never seen anything like it before.
Did they shorten halftime? Because that felt like a really short halftime.
No, that was a very long halftime.
Okay.
They did not shorten halftime.
Well, then again, I was also on iRacing, racing around Talladega at the same time. So
I just could not believe that last night. It was crazy.
I saw more of your game than I saw the race I was participating in last night. That's how boring my race was.
Well, how about we got to take a break. I mean, I had somebody text me is like, "What am I watching?" And I was like, well, Jamie Dixon's really not doing that great. The down 20 against New Orleans. He's like, no. I saw that. I know. What am I watching here? And I said, they have 4 players. I don't know what to tell you. And then he goes on to go like, I can't stop watching this. It's just so fascinating. They had 4 players and nobody on the bench except for a coach.
It's like watching a car wreck.
You can't
You can't look away.
Look away. I couldn't believe it last night. I mean, that's an interesting way to get your first win.
And
good for Blanche Alverson to get the first win under her belt. I mean, and that's a story that you're going to tell for a long time. But the impressive thing was the heart that the Bethesda team had.
Yeah, I was just going to say, very good on Bethesda for not just throwing in the towel and saying, yeah, we don't have it tonight.
So that was my night last night. Let's transition into setting up the Padres offseason. Here's all the information you need to know as we get ready for the Padres offseason. Braden Surprenant Show underway. We're going to be giving you updates on the NFL trade deadline. We're going to keep you updated on everything that's going on in sports as the day progresses. But what a wild night last night. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. All guests on 97 through the Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97 through the Fan. You see what that? You see that post we got on Twitter?
I told you I retweeted it.
Oh, that's the meme you're talking about. That's hilarious. I love that. This is the chair setup you got that they tagged Woods in?
Yes.
That could be a lot of different things.
So,
like, what do you think they're going to announce outside of Petco Park where they put the chairs and the podium on the street?
Yeah. So, for those of you who haven't seen the picture, I'm not sure if Ben and Wood showed it or not, there are like 11, 12 rows of chairs set up on the sidewalk outside of the suite entrance with a podium in front of it. So
did you notice the street sign?
No.
The street sign's covered with black tarp.
Oh, they're renaming
That's Imperial. That's
so
Imperial Avenue that goes to that intersection.
So they're renaming a street.
Yes.
So there it is.
That's what it has to be. I wonder if that's the. I wonder if they're. We'll see what the announcement
because it's
is.
also like not in the sidewalk. It's for those of you those of you know Petco Park outside that area. There's
it's a three-way intersection.
There's sidewalk, there's trees, and then there's the big sidewalk. It's between the road and the trees. That little area of sidewalk.
Interesting. Yeah, somebody posted that. Who knows what the deal is? Looks like they're renaming a street sign though, because the thing that they tagged Woods in was like, do you think they'll announce the manager on the sidewalk?
Yes.
No, I don't. I don't actually think that's possible. Is your TV still plugged in?
I think San Diego City High School might be doing that, but not the San Diego.
Hey, you know what? Don't
Padres.
Don't disrespect the Cavers like that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like
the Cavers would never do something like that. I'm
just saying that's something a high school would do, not a professional baseball team.
As the corporate representative of the high schools here in San Diego, like you are with the Big Ten, we would never do anything like that.
Well, middle school.
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's not my week. All right, here's what you need to know about the Padres offseason. As laid out by Jeff Sanders today in the Union Tribune. What's next? Well, here's some things from last year. They finished 90-72, second in the NL West, lost the wild card series. Manager to be determined. Leading baseball operations, A.J. Preller, president of baseball operations and general manager, 12th season, 4 playoff trips. What's next? Hire a manager. In the article, that decision could come as soon as this week. They said last week it could have come at the end of the week. Leaving the next skipper to assemble a coaching staff, future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols, current pitching coach Ruben Niebla, and former Padres catcher Nick Hundley are the known finalists, but A.J. Preller often zags when we expect a zig. Speaking of Preller, Eric Grupner has said this offseason that he expects his baseball ops chief to lead the department beyond 2026, so an extension seems to be coming to make sure Preller is not managing the organization's assets as a lame duck general manager. Very interesting. Now, do we have that clip that Adam sent us earlier today?
2 seconds and I'll get it up. Yeah.
So we saw this earlier. I mean, this is something that I think a lot of us have been assuming when it comes to the entire Albert Pujols saga of potentially hiring him as a manager. And we'll talk more about these like off-season things when we come back because we do got to get to a break. But was that Matt Holliday? Is that who that was?
It was Matt Holliday.
So it's Matt Holliday on a Cardinals podcast talking about who potentially would be on the staff for Albert Pujols if he becomes the manager of the San Diego Padres. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to be interested to see if Albert gets the Padres job or ends up managing if Yachty takes a role on Albert's staff, what that might look like. I think that'd be interesting if I think the one thing that I think has been interesting is that Yachty basically declared on social media and other places that he's ready to get back in full time. And I think that means every day. And I think that means on a staff that shows up at, 12:30 and doesn't go home until 11 o'clock at night for 7 straight months. And, he seems to be ready to get back into that life. And so there's certainly a spot somewhere for him. And like they said, if Cardinal is being the manager of the Cardinals is ultimately where he wants to end up, then it may be a little bit. Ollie's obviously one of my best friends, and so I don't know how this is all going to shake out, but I do know if Albert gets a managing job, say the Padres, for instance, Albert would want to take Yachty, and maybe as his bench coach, maybe as his special assistant, assistant manager. You can make up titles now in pretty much any way you want. So I'll be interested. I think that's the one thing to me that's intriguing. I think Albert fits the Padres really well. They have a lot of Latin players. I know he's close with Laureano and Tatis and Machado, and so I think that's a great landing spot for Albert. And then I think bringing on Yachty as a bench coach would be pretty awesome. I mean, if I was a Padre, and that'd be the dream scenario for me.
Didn't we talk about this before they even interviewed Albert Pujols?
I believe we did.
We
yes.
did. I think that would be the best scenario moving forward. And one of the questions that was asked is, and you kind of have to look at this. I mean, I think the longer we wait about this, the more you start thinking about the little context clues. What did AJ Preller say in his postseason press conference about the managerial hire and what he's looking for?
Want a long-term manager.
A long-term manager. I was going to tease that, but long-term manager for 10 plus years, right? Which one of these guys fills that role? We'll talk about it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL. On CBS and Paramount Plus, stream your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. AJ Preller talked about it in his end-of-season press conference. What was he looking for in terms of the hiring of this next manager, Frank?
Longevity.
The guy's going to be the manager for the next 10 years. Out of that conversation, and knowing the finalists that we know, who fits that description? We have Albert Pujols, we have Ruben Niebla, we have Nick Hundley, and we might have a fourth that we don't know about. I think that's very hard to say in this day and age of Major League Baseball, and this day and age of not having patience for coaching and coaching staffs. Are any of those candidates a 10-year guy? Do you believe in any of those guys being a 10-year guy? Is there one that takes over as a potential manager that's going to be here for a long period of time? I think it's an interesting question. I think a lot of it stems from who are the players that are going to be on your team for that amount of time. Go look at the payroll. I mean, you got a lot of guys under contract for probably that amount of time. What's the year? 2025? Next year will be 2026?
That's the rumor.
Right. So in 2026, you're thinking about a guy that's going to be here till 2036, 2035-ish. For the majority of that time, and Machado and Bogarts are here till 2033. Fernando's here till 2034. Jackson Merrill's here till 2034. Jake Cronenworth's here till 2030. Those are all of the players that are under contract through 2030 something. So those are the players that you're really hiring a manager for, right? You talk about longevity. You can talk about the guys that aren't under contract, the ones that are just under control. Other players that make 2030. I mean, Freddie Fermin and Mason Miller are free agents in 2030. And the lone other guy is David Morgan, who's not a free agent until 2032. These are the players that make it to the end of this decade, which would still only be about 4 or 5 years of the entire 10-year that you're thinking about. So to me, a manager that fits that bill is going to have to be somebody that can manage Xander Bogaerts and manage Manny Machado and manage Fernando Tatis Jr. and manage Jackson Merrill. Those are the names in particular. Anybody else I'm missing on that? I mean, those are the ones that are under contract through 2034.
No.
Out of the three that have been mentioned, who fits that category?
Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols. I agree.
Number 5.
I think Albert Pujols fits that. Do we think Albert Pujols is going to leave to take the Cardinals job? Maybe. I don't know. Who's to say? Is that his real dream job? I mean, he couldn't negotiate with the organization that he was currently involved with in the Angels, who ended up giving him a 1-year deal. Is Ruben Niebla that guy? I don't necessarily see Ruben Niebla being that guy. Nick Hundley, I think Nick Hundley would have been a good hire instead of Jace Tingler a handful of years ago, but Nick Hundley was still playing. I'd love to see Nick Hundley part of the organization again. For the current team that you have, the answer is Albert Pujols. And then when talking about that even further, we just played the clip from Matt Holliday, who still hasn't touched on plate. He talked about Yadier Molina. And he talked about Yadier Molina wanted to be involved. And if Albert Pujols gets a job wherever he might get a job, then he would bring on Yadier Molina. And Yadi's got a good relationship with Fernando, as mentioned in that little excerpt we had. I mean, we talked about what did we say, Frank, the beginning of this last season when talking about like the catching situation? Who was the player that we said might be worth a signing before they decided to trade for Freddie Fermin?
JT Realmuto.
JT Realmuto. And why was that a potential good sign?
Stopgap, a veteran stopgap that could also help develop Ethan Salas.
Yes. That could also develop Ethan Salas. Well, what about Yadier Molina?
Not only do you have Yadier Molina developing Ethan Salas, you have Freddie Fermin developing Ethan Salas, who developed under
who did he learn
Perez.
under? Exactly. So then you would have a guy that learned under Salvador Perez for God knows how long, and Yadier Molina.
If you can't learn under those two, I'm sorry, you can't learn how to play catcher in Major League Baseball. Even I could learn from those two.
And this is what I said before in terms of like ranking my, preferable managerial hires. I had it different. If Pujols comes with Yadier Molina, that's number 1 to me. I think it has to be number 1. After that, in terms of keeping things consistent, I'd go with Ruben Niebla. I think that'd be a safe hire. And I like Nick Hundley. I think Nick Hundley would be a great manager, too. I think you're in a good spot with those three. The fact that it brings Yadi in a little bit of, extra grit and everything like that. I mean, it's hard to argue bringing in one of the best hitters of all time in Albert Pujols, who had been there and done that, future first ballot Hall of Famer, and then arguably one of the best catchers to ever live, to be on your staff. That doesn't guarantee wins, but the way that this team is assembled, Frank, that to me is what you need for this current team.
Yes, 100%. I mean, if you want the superstars have a better chance at listening to other superstars, someone that they can relate to, been there, done that, and in Pujols' case, did it better than any of the guys on the team right now. I think you have the best chance at getting the most out of your superstar players with a guy like Albert Pujols as your manager, someone that they can relate to, someone that they can go to about certain issues that Mike Schilt couldn't answer, Jace Tingler couldn't answer, Andy Green couldn't answer. anyone else out there could not answer. Now, I'm sure, just to throw a name out there, Buck Showalter has coached Manny before. He has coached numerous superstars in this league. There's only so much relation that you can give to a guy like Manny through managing other superstars than you can by actually being a superstar and living it, going home with it every single day. That is something that's something that I think is invaluable that Pujols brings to this team.
Who else still needs to hire a manager? Because like Atlanta's
Bravos
hiring
hired-
Walt Weiss last night.
Yes, we'll get to that a little bit later on.
How many more? What, like Colorado?
I think Colorado. That's it. Colorado and the Padres.
I can't believe it's taken this long. Unless they want to interview Don Mattingly. That would be like the only last ditch, is if they're like waiting, if they were just waiting for Don Mattingly. I don't think I don't know if that's the case or not.
Again, another guy that comes with managing a bunch of superstar players, played in the league, was a great player. That's another valuable guy. He's coached in he's managed in Southern California before. He was manager of the Dodgers. So I don't know. That could be, he would be my number 2 over Niebla. But again, if you're, this whole segment was built on long-term manager. Don Mattingly left Miami because he wanted to be with his family.
Right.
And then after 2 months got fed up with his family and went to Toronto.
I think going the Don Mattingly route would be the same as Mike Schilt and
I agree.
And Sleepy Bob.
He's not your long-term fit.
No, I don't think so either. Well, they've already done, and then like the Buck Showalter thing, like the Padres already did the bring in Manny Machado's assistant coaches, and they didn't jive with Fernando thing either. So
I just threw Buck Showalter out there.
I'm just saying in general, they've tried a lot of these. The only thing that they haven't tried yet is the former player aspect, and this is a very unique opportunity, I think, for the Pod. This would be to me it would be a splash hire. I think it would. I think a lot of the other names that we mentioned would be a little deflating for Padres fans. Like I think they'd be okay with Ruben Niebla. Like I'm okay with every candidate for the Padres, but at the same time, like they hire Albert Pujols and he puts the staff together with Yadier Molina. You're excited for spring training to start, correct? You're stoked.
For spring training
you're
to start.
like, let's get after it, right? And this is before they even make any signings of any kind. You're excited. They hire Ruben Niebla. You're like, okay, like good for Ruben.
It's not
great for him. Like he's a great guy. Step down. You know, like we're gonna keep some consistency here. You know, like to me, that's like nobody's gonna be upset about Ruben Niebla being the manager. I think the sell to fans, I would be excited for Nick Hundley because he's a good dude and he lives here and stuff like that. But I think a lot of fans would be like, no, it's not. This isn't the move that's going to get the Padres over the hump to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers, who've now won 2 World Series in a row, right? This is not, you're looking for a guy that's going to do something for this organization for the first time ever.
Tony, if the Padres are hiring a manager to sell tickets, there's a problem. There's a major problem. The players sell enough tickets. They don't need a manager to help them sell tickets.
I don't think they need the help, but Tony's not wrong. I mean, there's going to be some casuals who are like, wait, Albert Pujols is the manager?
Agreed.
I want to see this. Like, this seems kind of cool.
That's actually going to
sell. That's going to sell out more opposing stadiums than anything else.
Yes.
I mean, the Cardinals, if the Padres hire Albert Pujols,
Busch Stadium's
actually going to have people at their games. Their greatest fans ever.
Okay.
Actually going to show up again. How about that? It's been a long time.
That's middle of June, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the middle of June is when the Padres go to St. Louis.
That's going to be hot. Good luck, Dave. I just think that the Pujols decision needs to be number one.
Yes.
And if Matt Holliday's on to something, and Matt Holliday played on those teams, he understands. If Yadi or Molina is part of the deal, they're number one to me.
I mean, it only makes, I mean, we said it before. We said it the day Molina said that he was interested in getting back to coaching. It feels like a no-brainer for him to get back into baseball with a legendary teammate like Albert Pujols. It makes all the sense in the world that
Now,
those two would come together.
And if they have success, I would imagine Yadi probably leaves and does his own thing.
Yes.
Now, do you think Yadi leaves and then brings Albert Pujols with him? They take over the Cardinals? Probably not. I don't know if that's the case.
I think if they see success, they're not one. The other one is not going to go as a bench coach with the other. They're going to stay with one is going to stay with the team that they're at.
I think I just don't know why. I just don't know why it's taken so long. And here's the other thing too. Like, I'm sure Ruben Niebla is interviewed for these jobs because somebody just asked, like, are we sure like Ruben's not going to get upset and then leave?
He's under contract.
He's under contract. He's from the Imperial County, right? I mean, his family still lives there. It's a good opportunity for him, unless he's leaving to get another managerial job,
which is not going to happen now.
Unless the Rockies want him to be the manager. Why wouldn't he stay? What's he going to go do? Go be a pitching coach somewhere else when the Padres obviously love him being here? I don't think it's going to be the case. I don't know. I don't really know how interested he is in being a manager. I mean, maybe that's what he wants to do. But sometimes, like if you're Ruben Niebla and they offer you an interview, you have to take the interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to take it. So maybe that's some of the things that they're working out now.
Unless it's 9.5 hours.
Well, who knows? What else is on the docket for the Padres offseason? We'll let you know everything you need to know as we start the 11 o'clock hour. All guests on 97 to the Fan, join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorney, helping good people regain control of their future. When charged with the crime since 2010, visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
Vindication.
Yes. Great. It's not just us with the whistling noise.
Oh no, it's not even that it's not just us, it's that it's happening. Like it is undeniable that it is happening now.
We ignore it. We try to ignore it too as much. So you guys in the chat pick it up. Cole Brooks picked it up.
Yes, Cole picked it up earlier.
Like that noise.
Morning show.
Ghosts.
The morning show apparently had it today.
Haha! Wasn't just us.
And now our wonderful, wonderful IT department has no choice but to believe us.
So the trade with the Jets and the Colts, right?
Yes.
Colts send a couple of draft picks and a receiver for Sauce Gardner. The receiver is A.D. Mitchell. NFL Memes has put out. Do you know what A.D. Mitchell did this year against the Rams?
Is he the athletic director?
No.
Oh.
His name's A.D. It goes, it was at this exact moment that A.D. Mitchell was destined to become a New York Jet. He fumbled going into the end zone, out of the back of the end zone, by himself.
I just saw it.
Destined to be a Jet.
I just saw an even better one.
Oh, no.
Carly Ursay at the trade deadline.
Oh, wow.
Basically, it's basically an AJ Preller meme.
It's on the phone.
No, bleep them prospects. bleep them picks.
Yeah, well, as Jimmy Johnson used to say, it's not about the draft picks. It's what you do with the draft picks.
Yes.
Which is true. Titans are sending edge rusher Draymond Jones of the Ravens for a conditional 5th-round pick. If I play for the Titans, I am asking to get traded. If I play for the Saints, I'm asking to get traded. And some local news for you, Rashid Shaheed is now a member of the Seattle Seahawks. He has been traded from the Saints.
Oh, there you go.
Correct. I guess Breece Hall has tweeted something. If I am on the Jets or the Saints, I am asking, or the Titans, please trade me.
Yeah,
somebody has to want me. Please trade me.
Sauce Gardner went to bed at 1-7 and woke up at 7-2.
That's great. He just jumped to first place. Browns are sending defensive end Joe Tryon Shoyinka and a 7th-round pick to the Bears in exchange for a 6th-round pick. There you go. I couldn't tell. Your guess is good as mine. When they start sending linemen where you don't see their names all the time, you're like, I don't know.
We have the Homer Simpson making cornflakes meme here.
Oh, that's nice.
The one where he pours the milk in and it bursts into flames. Jerry Jones adding a Bengals defender to the worst defense in the NFL.
Nice. The Denver Broncos.
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
It's the funniest. The new drops that Frank has added.
I thought of those on Sunday night, too. By the way, I remembered we had talked about it on Friday.
And so now you had to go watch Remember the Titans to talk about
Yes.
football. All right. Let's get back to the Padres stuff. We'll keep you updated on any massive trades that might happen in the NFL on the NFL trade deadline day. Okay, so we talked about hiring a manager needs to be number one. We talked about that for like basically the entire 10 o'clock hour. On top of that, Padres need some power. With Ryan O'Hearn among the team's departing free agents, the Padres will be looking for avenues to become a more dangerous team. Most of the spots on the team are set, but first baseman DH to pair with the resurgent Gavin Sheets should be on the shopping list. The team will also be looking to get more out of the current roster as Fernando Manny endured long power outages. Jackson Merrill had an injury-plagued year. Catcher Luis Campusano, who led the PCL with a 1036 OPS, yet did not get a hit during sporadic stints in the major league. That's crazy to me. He didn't get a single hit in the major leagues all year. Small sample size, but the guy hit a 1036 OPS in the PCL. No hits in Major League Baseball. Camposano headlines the minor league assets that have not added value to the majors. Pitching staff. Joe Musgrove should return from Tommy John surgery to boost the rotation. That looks to lose both Dylan Cease and Michael King to free agency, and seem to have 39-year-old Yu Darvish considering his future heading into the offseason. Nick Pivetta figures to be an unquestioned number one starter after he was signed to a creative contract at spring training. The Padres have a track record of hitting on such bets. King, Seth Lugo, for example, so expect them to add lottery tickets alongside Randy Vasquez, J.P. Sears, Matt Waldron. Team has not ruled out transitioning Mason Miller or Adrian Morejon back to the rotation, but that would also open gaping holes in the back end of the bullpen that could see Robert Suarez opt out, which he did, and might not have Jason Adam ready to start the season. Here's the decisions that are looming for the Padres. Robert Suarez, he opted out. Not really a big decision anymore. Okay? Now, you could potentially give him a qualifying offer, but what's the qualifying offer again? $22 million, Frank?
Yeah, I believe it's 22,025.
22. He's looking to get $20 million in general. I don't want to spend $22 million on a closer for a qualifying offer. He would take that, by the way. $22 million qualifying offer. Would Robert Suarez take that if you put that on there? Yes, I think he would. 1 year, $22 million? Probably. Ramon Laureano. Padres are expected to exercise the $6.5 million club option on the 31-year-old outfielder. He had an 812 OPS after the trade from Baltimore and was sorely missed when the broken finger happened in the last week of the season, forced him out of the playoffs. Laureano, that's a no-brainer to me, the club option. Wandy Peralta did not opt out of his deal. He's back at $4.45 million. Diaz will receive a $2 million buyout if both parties do not exercise a $7 million mutual option, which is a massive raise to the $1.5 million salary. I'd pay him $2 million to go away instead of paying him $7 million to be on the team. What are your thoughts on that? Anything crazy?
No.
Kyle Hart's owed $500,000 if the Padres don't want to give him $5 million. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give him $500,000 to go away. Outgoing free agents, Michael King, Luis Arraez, Dylan Cease, Brown O'Hearn, Jose Iglesias, Nestor Cortez, Martin Maldonado.
Again, with Maldonado expected to retire.
I would hope so.
Oh, no, I think he's already announced it. So.
Oh, even better. He could be the catching coach. Yeah, Martin Maldonado and Yadier Molina and Freddie Fermin. Ethan Salas is going to be legit, Frank.
Again, if Ethan Salas can't learn
from those guys,
yeah, he ain't learning. Like he just is not going to learn.
Here are the players that are eligible for arbitration: Jason Adam and Adrian Morejon, as laid out in the Jeff Sanders article. He has the MLB trade rumors estimates in parentheses. Expect $6.8 million, give or take, for Jason Adam, $3.6 million for Adrian Morejon, Gavin Sheets, $4.3 million, J.P. Sears, $3.5, Luis Camposano, $1 million, Mason Miller, $3.4, Freddie Fermin, $1.8. You have financial commitments in 2026. Xander Bogaerts is going to be the highest paid player in the Padres next year. He's getting $25 million. That's consistent throughout. Machado's salary jumps from $13 million to $21 million. Again, it's most of his contracts backloaded. Fernando and Joe Musgrove will each make $20 million. Nick Pavetta's salary jumps to $19 million. Yu Darvish will take a pay cut. He'll drop down to $16 million. Other notable under guaranteed contracts include Cronenworth getting $12 million. Yuki Matsui getting $5.75 million. That hasn't been a very good signing for the Padres. Maybe he can improve. He was even on the playoff roster. Jackson Merrill's getting $4 million next year. Eric Hosmer's contract finally off the books, but the Padres will likely owe buyouts to King, Diaz, Hart, and we'll see their commitments rise if Suarez and Peralta exercise their player options, which Peralta did, Suarez did not. Laureano's modest $6.5 million team option will also add to the payroll when exercised. 2027, Machado's pay jumps to $40 million, by the way. $40 million. Does that get prorated if they don't play games? I forget because we've gone through this lockout thing before. Like Machado's got $40 million on the line at his age 34 season.
Sure. I don't know.
2027, Machado's getting $40 million. Tatis is getting $25 million. Bogaerts is getting 25. Musgrove's getting 20. Darvish is getting 15. Cronenworth's getting 12. Merrill will get 9. Pavetta's going to opt out probably. Otherwise, he'd get $14 million. Matsui's going to get $6.5 million in 2027 if he doesn't opt out. Why would he opt out? Musgrove comes off the books in 2028. Padres only have commitments to 6 players in 2028. $40 million to Machado, $25 to Bogaerts and Tatis, $15 million to Darvish, $12 million to Cronenworth, $11 million to Merrill. Pivetta would stand to add another $18 million to the books if he doesn't opt out after 2026 or 2027. Matsui would add another $7 million if he doesn't opt out after 2026. That Matsui contract stinks.
Well, again, like I said, you signed him with the anticipation of him being your closer, so you paid him closer money, and it never worked out. That's the problem, is you anticipated him being your closer, so you paid him closer money.
Here's some names to be on the lookout for at the winter meetings. These are the players that are eligible for the Rule 5 draft that the Padres must protect on their 40-man roster, otherwise they could potentially lose. Marcos Castañon, Victor Lizarraga, Francis Pena at the AAA level. In the AA level, Garrett Hawkins, Jagger Haynes, Miguel Mendez, Ryan Ock, Cole Palpum, and Romeo Sanabria. Again, they have to be enough for teams to be like, we want this guy on the team for the entire season.
Protect them all.
I don't know about half those guys.
Protect them all, because who are you going to trade next year if they're gone?
I mean, you don't even know if, like, these are just the eligible players. You don't even know if Romeo Sanabria is even good enough that somebody wants to take him.
That was a joke.
I'm just saying.
That was a bleep them prospects joke.
Protect them all.
That you
got to be careful what to say that around, because there's a lot of fans that might actually agree with you. Key dates. Give me a second. All right, that's back. Day up, and it's gone again. Engineers are working on the computer.
They were literally
and
just
not
in
one
here
time.
10 minutes ago.
And it flashed again. Day after the World Series, eligible players become free agents. Again, I'm not even touching anything. It just keeps flashing. Fifth day after the end of the World Series, last day for clubs to make qualifying offers to eligible former players who become free agents. General manager meetings are November 10th to the 13th. Owners meetings in New York are November 18th to the 20th. November 21st, last day for teams to offer 2026 contracts to unsigned players on their 40-man rosters. December 1st to the 4th, Major League Baseball Players Association Executive Board meeting in Scottsdale. 7th to the 10th for December, winter meetings in Orlando. December 10th, Rule 5 draft in Orlando. December 15th, international signing period closes. January 8th, salary arbitration figures exchange. The 15th, international signing period begins for 2026. February 12th, voluntary report date for pitchers and catchers. March 26th, opening day at Petco Park against the Tigers. There is your offseason look around.
There you go.
I want to talk about the qualifying offers situation, too, for the Padres. We looked at, I have it later on the offseason look at 12:30. But here are the players that you could potentially offer a qualifying offer to. And we have a couple of minutes here before we have to take a break. Your eligible players, and the deadline's this week, you have 4 eligible players to offer $22 million to on a 1-year contract. And if they say no, you get a draft pick. In layman's terms. Correct, Frank?
Yes.
Okay. Michael King, Dylan Cease, Robert Suarez, Luis Arraez. Who are you offering a qualifying offer to?
Michael King.
Yep.
And Dylan Cease, most likely. Those would be my 2.
I'd offer a qualifying offer for Dylan Cease for sure. I'm not offering a qualifying offer for Robert Suarez.
No, because
he might
he'll
take it. And I don't want to pay him $22 million.
No, here's the thing with qualifying offers, or as I accidentally mislabeled it as the franchise tag yesterday.
It's basically a franchise tag.
You want to offer these to guys that they're not going to take it. So this way you get the
draft pick.
You get the compensatory draft pick
from the team that ends up signing them.
Yes.
And the Padres have signed a decent amount of players in the past with a qualifying offer.
Yes.
Which they have to forfeit a draft pick in order to get them. I would give a qualifying offer to Cease. I'd give a qualifying offer to King. I would not give it to Suarez. He might actually take the qualifying offer, and then you're stuck paying him $22 million. The other thing, too, is you also offer it to players that you might be willing to pay $22 million to. Arraez would definitely take that.
Oh, God,
Because
yes.
nobody's paying him $22
No.
million. I mean, I think he's going to struggle to find somebody that's going to pay him $15 million. Plus, he loves San Diego. So you're not going to get a draft pick, and then you're overpaying for Luis Ariz on a 1-year deal. So only 4 players are eligible for a qualifying offer. I'd give them to the 2 starting pitchers.
Yeah,
And neither of them are going to take it.
No, Michael King will not take the qualifying offer.
No, not even close.
He's going to look for a long-term deal worth money. It does. The injury last year does not matter.
He'll get more than $22 million a year, I think, too.
100%. So that is you send the qualifying offer to players that you know are not going to take it.
There are other players and we'll talk about the qualifying offers around Major League Baseball. There are other players that might take the qualifying offer. Like one of them's, MLB.com thinks the Yankees will offer a qualifying offer to Trent Grisham.
He'd take that in a heartbeat.
He would take that in a heartbeat. The Yankees might not mind having Trent Grisham on the team for $22 million. I would. I don't know. I mean, he had a great year last year. I think he's perfect for New York with the way the ballpark is. But, he's a player that might actually take the qualifying offer. Not a lot of players end up taking the qualifying offers. Since the qualifying offer system began in 2012, sorry. Qualifying offers began in 2012. 144 players have received the offer. 14 have accepted. That's approximately 10% of the players who have been offered qualifying offers have accepted. It's almost always a formality for stars who know they'll command multi-year deals. That's who you're offering qualifying offers to. That's why it offered to Michael King. I don't care about his weird injury or not. He ain't accepting it. He's going to be one of the, he's not going to be part of the 10% that has accepted those offers before. So that's kind of the next phase of this potential deal. You got to offer these qualifying offers before free agency begins later on in the week. I still can't believe we have been all quiet on the Western Meadow front when it comes to the Padres, by the way, Frank.
I mean, again,
we've been talking about the same 4 dudes for the last 5 days.
Yeah, and I think it's a sign of the way this organization is going to run things now. Because, I mean, we've heard leaks before when we were talking about possibly hiring Bob Melvin, when we were talking about possibly Mike Shildt. We at least heard more candidates. We knew the candidates that were at least getting interviewed. There's still a mystery candidate that we have no idea about that's being rumored to be a finalist. So they're tight-lipped now, which I personally, I mean, it sucks for our job, but as far as my organization goes, I don't mind that. I don't mind being tight-lipped.
I don't mind being tight-lipped either. And if not, then we get to hear on the back end, don't report it, and then we can be smart when things do happen. We're going to get to your phone calls when we come back, talking about the Padres offseason. We will also get to address, did you hear what Wyoming's head coach said about Aztec football?
I did.
We're going to talk about that when we come back. There's a lot of things that he said that make a lot of sense. What's he talking about? After they lost to the Aztecs on Saturday? It has nothing to do with the on-field product. We'll discuss when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. This hour of Sports Talk is brought to you by SD Collectibles. Get ready, sports and Pokemon collectors. SD Collectibles Card Show is back at Liberty Station with over 100 vendor tables, November 22nd, 23rd. Find sports cards, Pokemon, memorabilia, and more. Visit SDCollectibles.com for info. That's SDCollectibles.com. All right. Let's talk about what Wyoming said about San Diego State.
Let's talk football.
Let's talk football.
I don't know how much of it is football and how much of it is just, well, I don't know, getting people to watch football. Let's talk football. Let's watch football. We got to get people to watch football.
Let's talk about watching football.
Let's talk about watching football, shall we? Wyoming head coach Jay Sovwell took an unprompted swipe at San Diego State's football attendance, criticizing the sparse turnout for the Aztecs' 24-7 homecoming win over the Cowboys on Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. During his Monday media session, Sovwell said he was shocked by the lack of fans in San Diego, sarcastically referring to the night's promotion, this is hilarious, as one where, quote, you come dressed as an empty seat. That's a great dad joke right there. That is such a great dad joke. You know how many times I've heard that so many times. Hey, homecoming night was dressed as empty seat night. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. That's a good one. He added that the experience, quote, makes you appreciate being in Wyoming. How many people appreciate being in Wyoming? It's a beautiful country. And after Yellowstone, I think a lot of people want to move there just to enjoy the beautiful country until, well, December hits, and then all of a sudden people don't want to be in Wyoming anymore.
Breaking news. Wyoming is not a country. It's a state.
It's beautiful countryside.
There you go.
It's beautiful country. You've never heard that before?
It's a state.
I didn't say it's a beautiful country. I said it's beautiful country. Go back to English class, Frank. Calling the attendance saddening for such a beautiful stadium and strong team. It is saddening. Despite the sarcasm, Sovwell also praised SDSU head coach Sean Lewis, calling him a great dude and a really good coach. Well, yeah, we know that. How about them Aztecs, Sean?
How about them Aztecs?
Well, lamenting the atmosphere at a venue he expected to be electric. The official announced attendance for the game was 24,325. That's tickets distributed. But in-house estimates pegged the crowd at 17,109. It's all laid out by Kirk Kenny's article yesterday. Just over half the stadium's 32,500 capacity. It was the second smallest home crowd of the season for San Diego State, ahead of only the season opener against Stony Brook that had 13,516. The Aztecs are averaging 18,000. That's what they said.
I was there. There were not 13,000 people there.
They said that was the amount of tickets that were scanned that night. 13,000.
My rear end.
The Aztecs are averaging 18,367 fans per home game, one of the lowest marks since the stadium opened in 2022. Saturday's turnout ranked among the 10 smallest crowds in Snapdragon's 24-game history. 8 of those have come in the past 2 seasons, which also happen to be the program's only back-to-back losing campaign since 2009. Ironically, a poor showing came as San Diego State extended its winning streak to 6 games and improved to 7-1 overall, 4-0 in the Mountain West, the only undefeated team in Mountain West Conference play. A San Diego State spokesperson declined to comment on Sovwell's remarks. For context, Wyoming is averaging 22,990 fans at its home stadium, which seats about 25,000, and its final home game against Nevada on November 22nd is already a sellout. Cowboys are 4-5 overall and 2-3 in conference, coming off of a 3-9 season identical to San Diego State's 2023 mark. At his own press conference earlier Monday, before Sovwell's comments were public, Sean Lewis spoke optimistically about community engagement and growing fan support. He said the crowd included, quote, a good group of alumni, students, and community members, and noted the presence of 115 high school prospects on the sidelines, with twice as many expected for the upcoming November 15th home game against Boise State. Sean Lewis emphasized the importance of local fans showing up. When those prospects look up in the stands, they want to play in front of a sellout crowd. When the Aztecs are playing well, everyone benefits from that. Sean's saying all the right things. He's saying all the right things. Despite the team's success, more than 6,000 tickets remain for the Boise State game. The cheapest seats are $62.55, while most other tickets range from $115 to nearly $300, suggesting price could be a factor in the attendance dip. Yeah, probably. Other notes about the Aztecs, they remain just outside the top 25. They ranked 29th in both the AP and coaches polls. San Diego State's defense continues to perform at a historic level, allowing just 10 points per game and 246 total yards per game, both among the best marks in school history. Aztecs' rapid turnaround from 3-9 in 2023 to 7-1 in 2025 makes them, not 3-9 in 2024 to 7-1 in 2025, makes them one of only two programs nationally, along with Southern Mississippi, to reach bowl eligibility after winning 3 or fewer games last season. Here's the biggest dilemma that the Aztecs have when it comes to the ticket pricing. They use the PSL portion for Aztec football to help pay off the stadium. The problem with that is you're not bringing in the events that account for those ticket prices to make a lot of sense. And so your season ticket holders that have to take on the PSL prices will never get face value for their tickets that they're paying for. That's like the club seats and all the others, all the seats that you have to put in these days and what they were sold when they were season ticket holders, they can't overcome. Go look at the seat prices. There's a reason why they're so expensive on the aftermarkets. It's not because that's what they're not being greedy. They have to pay these like donations to the school to help pay for the stadium and everything. And that's the biggest problem that they have is the current season ticket holders are kind of SOL right now when it comes to the ticket prices. Go look at the Boise State game and the tickets that are available for the Boise State game. They're priced as high as they are, not because just Boise State's coming into town, but the people that have the tickets that are trying to get rid of them have to account for how much that they paid for. I'm looking at the website right now. I'm looking at SeatGeek right now for Boise State, San Diego State. Boise State's a good football team. Would we agree with that, Frank? This is the second best or best matchup coming to Snapdragon this year.
Absolutely.
No, which one? Is it the best or second best? It's one of the two. Is this better than Cal coming in?
Oh,
it's pretty close.
As far as conference, but it's the second best, but as far as meaning and what it means as far as getting to the Mountain West Championship game, Cal meant nothing. Boise State is the bigger matchup.
But like Boise State was in the playoff last year. To me, I still think Boise State is a better draw of a game regardless than Cal. This is your 100%. Best draw. Tickets right now, you got to see this. Tickets in the last row, 50-yard line. Last row in the stadium, 50-yard line, $246.
Oh, for God's sake.
$286, $276. If you get closer and you're not in the last row and you're in the upper deck, we're talking about section 328. There's tickets going for $439 a seat.
I can't afford that.
I'm not paying that for any TCU football game. I'm going to tell you that right now. As a TCU football season ticket holder, I am not paying that. I don't care what game the Frogs are in. I don't care what. I mean, you know how much I paid for the national championship?
How much?
I paid. It was a total for 4 tickets for the national championship game, and this is just like the face value I got for doing it through the Frog, like my season tickets. My total price for 4 tickets was $2,500. It was about $600 a ticket. That was for the national championship game at SoFi Stadium. That was worth $600. You're telling me for $200 cheaper I could watch the Aztecs play Boise State? No, absolutely not.
I have a full-time job that I love. I can't afford that.
I can't justify that at all.
Forget about justifying it. I can't afford it. What makes you think a college student can?
Well, they have their student tickets that they get. That's slightly different.
I understand.
But I'm talking back
That's-
more about families that are attending a game. Okay? I mean, that's just one ticket. If I was going to go with my friend, I'm telling you right now, I ain't paying that money for Boise State, San Diego State. I will not do that. I don't care what the game is. If San Diego State, the only time I'm paying for an Aztec football game that's that expensive, San Diego State better be ranked, and they better be playing Alabama or Tennessee or somebody that's also ranked coming to town. Ohio State. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not spending money to watch ranked San Diego State play ranked TCU at Snapdragon Stadium for $450 sit up there. I'm not doing it. It doesn't make any sense. But you can't blame the aftermarket people because they have to pay for all these expenses that they had on the original season ticket pricing. That's where the problem lies. And now you're in a tough spot. What are you going to do? Undercut all those people that you made pay all this money for season tickets when they first moved in? Whoever did the research for what they thought people were going to willingly spend for season tickets failed. And they've put themselves in a massive problem right now to get people to go to Aztec football games. Because let's say you do lower the prices like we've talked about. How is that fair to anybody that you originally got to buy season tickets? How is it fair to your season ticket holders?
Reimburse them.
Yeah, you know, state school ain't doing that.
Reimburse a percentage of it.
$439. That's to sit on the shade side. Now, if you just want to get in the building,
The shade talk?
Yeah. The side that's on the San Diego State side, by the way, is shady. Bro, I'm looking at that. Do you know where the $60 seats are, JJ? I'm looking at SeatGeek, which, by the way, is owned by Ticketmaster. They're on the same company. It's all the same seats. Here's what you need to know about the $60 seats. You're sitting in the last row in the stadium in the sun for $60. Still not doing that.
Are you sitting for $60? Are you paying $60 to see San Diego State, Boise State? No.
Family of four? No, I'm not. That's $240 to get into the building if you had a family of four to watch the Aztecs play Boise State. And you're not even talking about parking or anything else.
Yeah, parking's the same price as the ticket.
Correct. By the way, those $67, like you said, $660 whatever. Yeah, we know that's resale. That's where you're getting the problem. All these tickets have already been purchased by the season ticket holders. They have to charge this amount to get people into the building.
And they're trying to recoup the money that Ticketmaster there is resale on Ticketmaster.
I know. It's the same thing. It's the company's the same. I'm not getting an argument about that. It's the same deal.
And as Braden said, you're trying to recoup. You're trying to
that's
get
before
as
the fees
much.
too.
You're trying to get as much of your money back on the tickets that you're trying to resell. They're not putting it at $60 because they're trying to gouge you. They're putting it at $60 because they're trying to
at least
minimize the damage after they got gouged.
When I list my tickets, it's like, again, and I have my tickets for TCU football cost with everything, like with the donation, everything like that, it's like $90 a seat. That's for Big 12 football. It's still under $100. My seats are like corner of the end zone, second deck. But the second deck's not like a huge deck, and it's on the home side. I mean, that's equivalent to a lot of seats in the Snapdragon Stadium that are like in some club areas. But those tickets, like at Snapdragon, are going for like $200, maybe even more. So I look at it, it's like, it doesn't matter. $60 is still a ripoff to go to an Aztec football game. It just is. It's Mountain West football. No wonder they can't get anybody to go to these games.
How much was it for tickets for San Diego State against Boise State?
Right now?
Yeah.
The cheapest seat you can get is $67, and you're sitting next to the Boise State Parents.
You can see the last game of the Chargers season up at SoFi against the Houston Texans for 38.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like you can even compare them to like the other games going on in college football that day. And you're going to be able to find tickets that are way cheaper to go watch SC play football. There's a lot of people that want to weigh in on this too. We're going to get your phone calls when we come back. We're going to talk about more about this pricing problem that San Diego State has. And the problem really is not like the current, it's the beginning part when you open the stadium and the season ticket holder fees. That is where you ran into a problem. We'll talk about it when we come back. 1:45 on a Tuesday. We're talking about Aztec ticket prices for the football team. I'm trying to find ways to get people to go to these games. And it's not because the team is not good. The team is legit. The team is potentially in a position to host a Mountain West. How about that, by the way? What's the attendance going to be like if they host the Mountain West Championship game with the winner going to a college football playoff, potentially?
If it's dead the way it has been, it would be
like, doesn't the Mountain West
mortally
take over for
embarrassing.
the tickets, right? So like I think doesn't the Mountain West take over for ticketing for that? If they do,
I'm not sure.
There might be a
for sure.
situation in which the tickets for the Mountain West Championship game are actually cheaper than a normal Aztec game.
Mhm.
I don't know how that works with with the conferences like that. I know for like the Big 12, since it's hosted at Jerry's World, they run the tickets for it.
Eric WK in chat, there is a way to get into Snapdragon Stadium at an affordable rate. That would be called go to a San Diego Wave or San Diego FC game. Maybe not now because they're both in the playoffs, but that's a way to do it affordably.
Okay, you're looking at the top 25 games for Week 12. Okay, that's the game. It's the week that San Diego State is playing Boise.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're talking about the price. Now, get-in price right now, there's only one ticket available currently that is under $70. So you can go get it if you want. It's $67, including the fees. That's before taxes. There's only one of those. Everything else is above $75. And you look at like any seats that's not the last seat in the house. And again, those corner seats are not great because you can't see anything. Section 114. That's the only other place that has a $67 ticket.
We know those corner sections stink, and you can't really see much because that's kind of
the
where
press
the
box
press
is?
box is.
By the way, tickets above the press box are going for, or right under the press box, are going for $311.
Yeah, that's an exclusive section though, is it not? Because they're not really seats.
Yeah,
there. There's like sofas and lounge chairs.
there's a lot of seats. Like all the seats that are under the awning of the upper deck on the visitor side are all listed for $1,000 plus. 1,160, 1,574, 1,800, 1,800, 1,574, 1,100, 1,100. I mean, could you imagine spending $1,800 to watch San Diego State football play?
God,
Could you imagine spending that money to watch any college football team play?
In my lifetime, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Not in one shot.
These are the games that are that same weekend. Yeah, we didn't even talk about parking. EC money, $55 to park on gravel. It's true. You don't even want to know how much it costs to park in the grass over there. You got New Mexico State, Tennessee is not that great of a game. Those tickets are like $70. Okay, fair enough. You can watch Arizona play at Cincinnati for $28. Cincinnati's ranked.
That's cool.
Notre Dame's at Pitt that day. Their get-in price is $100. So for $30 less, I can watch the Aztecs play Boise State. This one's the best one, though. The 11th ranked currently, Oklahoma Sooners,
Boomer Sooner,
are at the 4th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. That game's at 12:30 on ABC. 11 versus 4 in Tuscaloosa. What's the get-in price, you think? If you had to guess. SEC game, both ranked in the top 15.
120. That would be deserving. That would be a deserved 120.
I mean, that would be cheap on the cheaper side. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's to sit in the up. That's cheapest seat.
The cheapest seat for
house.
Texas and Georgia that week is $331.
Okay. So
how much does it cost to get into Oklahoma, Alabama?
$250 then.
How much would you pay, knowing that you had to pay a little bit more?
I wouldn't.
Just go along with the exercise. How much are you willing to pay for a ranked game?
I would
11
say
and 4?
$250 to $300.
I'd probably pay like if that was one of my teams, that was the biggest game of the year. Probably like $200.
Skylar, how much?
That's a good question for Skylar.
How much are you willing to pay?
I bet you her season tickets are cheaper than Aztec tickets.
I would believe it 1,000,000%. Get-in
price at Bryant Denny Stadium. Granted, it's a bigger stadium. Oklahoma, Alabama, same weekend, $52.
Oh, for God's
to get in. It is cheaper to go to Alabama, Oklahoma than it is to go to San Diego State, Boise State.
However, to be fair, you have the immense expense of spending time in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I should be getting paid to go to that game.
That is where your life takes a hit.
Iowa USC is at the Coliseum that weekend.
Okay.
12:30. You could drive up to watch Big Ten football.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa's 4-1 in the Big Ten. USC's 4-1 in the Big Ten. USC is ranked. Both teams are 6-2 on the year.
Both teams going for a Big Ten championship game.
Correct. That's in Southern California. Get-in price at the Coliseum is, take a guess. $74.
Oh, wow.
$74 to watch Iowa play USC.
That was close.
But to watch the Aztecs play Boise State, it's like anywhere between like $162, $89, $92. People are listing tickets for like $1,000. It's insane. Purdue sucks though, Justin. So, I'd have to get paid to watch Purdue play Ohio State.
I only know one person that is willing to watch that game, and that is my friend who is a Purdue graduate.
Purdue. The ticket prices are the biggest problem. It ain't the stadium. Stadium's nice. The people that are bitter about the whole soccer city thing just need to get over themselves. It ain't happening, okay? Just get over yourself. You got a soccer team now. They were going to build a smaller stadium. You have a soccer team now. There's nothing to bitch about anymore. You've got a stadium. You have an MLS team. They're number 1 in the Western Conference. Stop bitching about it. It's not the stadium. It ain't the shade. It's the fact that ticket prices are insane. And because they charge too much for the season ticket holders from the get-go. We only have a little bit of time. Kevin in Chula Vista wants to weigh in. Kevin, what's going on?
Well, thanks again, Braden, for shining light on a topic that it doesn't have one single answer, and it does not have one single cause. This has been going on here for decades, literally. And clearly the powers that be at San Diego State overshot the runway with what they thought they had. And don't forget that stadium, they think it would produce enough revenue to also finance a lot of the surrounding development that's planned to go in there. So you've got that pressure as well that I think contributes to their intransigence on lowering prices. It's not just about winning and losing. It's a lot of things. And I wish we had time to go through the litany of nonsense that has gone on out at that university as it relates to their football program over the last 3 decades. So there's no good answers here. And I don't think lowering the prices is going to do all that much when you have a football team that's largely anonymous to the community and is in a situation now based upon the nil era where you've got players coming and going like professional football players, which I still don't understand why we're using taxpayer money to fund that. That's a side issue. But you don't have that Marshall Faulk, Darnay Scott, Will Blackwell 4-year player that you can develop a affinity with and a recognition with. So largely, this football team is anonymous to the community.
That's a good point. I think they're doing a good job of selling the local products. But again, you got to be able to keep some of these local kids. So far, they've done a good job doing that. But that's a college football program problem in general. It's a tough situation San Diego State's in, being in a major city. Noon hour when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show.
It's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime use.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
New lunchtime hour on 97.3 The Fan. Remember, in about an hour, listen at 1 o'clock for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a future Padres game with all of the fan staff. Register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. In an hour at 1 o'clock, we will be doing that. We don't have any tickets to give away, correct?
Negative.
All right,
No
good.
tickets.
No tickets to give away. We do have Aztec basketball tonight. We have USD basketball tonight. I'm doing the game. UCSD basketball was last night. We'll talk about that later on. We want to get to some other things around Major League Baseball. We'll try to get to this hour. We'll get to some Week 9 overreactions as well. But since we were a little bit late on the Aztec talk with trying to get people into the stands, it's time to get to today's sports thread.
One that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me.
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
All right, Frank, what do we got going on in the sports world today? A lot of NFL trades, I guess.
Yeah, we do have a lot of NFL trades. I don't have them up in here, but I will. I'll try to work on getting some together.
Number 1.
We'll start off with the Atlanta Bravos, who have hired Walt Weiss as their manager yesterday, turning to their longtime bench coach in the hopes of a turnaround after they missed the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. Weiss, age 61, managed the Colorado Rockies from 2013 to 2016, going an impressive 283 and 365, and never finishing higher than third place. He inherits a talented Braves team that finished 76 and 86 that was ravaged by injuries. Did the Braves punt on this managerial hire here by bringing in Weiss?
Yeah, it's a safe hire, I guess. I mean, it's the we're just going to keep him around. Walt Weiss, former Atlanta Brave on those 90s teams. I mean, it's not a sexy hire. It's kind of a safe hire. I don't, are Braves fans upset about it? Probably not. It's not a big, it's not a splash.
Adam?
It is what it is. I think it's a safe hire for them.
It's just,
is he going to put him over the top? Probably not.
It feels just like.
What was his record with the Rockies?
Okay.
I guess he's in a better org now.
365.
He was their bench coach, right?
Yeah, he was the Braves bench coach.
To me, it's like that's like the it's the same feelings you would have if Ruben Abel got hired, right? It's safe. It's keep it consistent.
I honestly,
keep them apart.
I don't even think so. I think this season for Atlanta was disappointing because they had so many injuries. But this just feels like such a confusing hire to me. Like, this is not a Braves manager to me. Just doesn't feel that way.
We have a tweet from Yu Darvish that he just put out.
Okay.
Last Wednesday, I underwent elbow surgery performed by Dr. Meister. I will not be able to pitch in games during the 2026 season. I will work hard on my rehabilitation to be able to throw a ball comfortably again. Last Wednesday, I had surgery done to repair my flexor tendon. have an internal brace attached to my UCL. I will be working hard on my rehab to be able to throw the ball comfortably again.
Is that not more or less Tommy John surgery? Yeah,
I guess it's
done for the year.
He's done. Yeah, he's 2020. Well, he said he's not going to pitch in 2026. So he ain't pitching in 2026.
Yeah,
but he's not retiring.
No, he's not retiring, which means that money is still. I mean, the
You're
Padres
still paying him.
The Padres will still get it back in insurance, but that's not usable funds for them.
No, it's not. We need to talk about that in a second.
We can kill the sports thread and go with that. I think let's just do that.
They even had a media release by Craig Huner. Padres pitcher Yu Darvish underwent successful ulnar collateral ligament repair surgery with an internal brace on his right elbow on Wednesday, October 29th. President of Baseball Operations A.J. Preller announced today the procedure was performed by Dr. Keith Meister in Arlington, Texas, and included flexor tendon repair.
C20 Moreno in the chat peacefully recovered. He's not dead. He had an elbow surgery. He'll be all right. He'll be good.
Was that his second one?
Yes, because I believe didn't he have Tommy John surgery at the beginning, like more towards the beginning of his career?
I thought he was
with
did.
The Rangers.
I thought he did. It's almost like it's so apparent now that here's the summary. Yu Darvish's medical history primarily involves recurring right elbow issues, which included Tommy John surgery in 2015.
Yeah, so that was while he was still. That was either when he was with the Rangers or had just gotten to the Cubs.
I think he was a Ranger because he was a Ranger when I was in college.
Okay, yeah, so it would have been when he was with Texas.
So this is his medical. He rehabbed a lower back issue at the end of the season in 2013. He underwent Tommy John surgery on his right elbow during spring training in 2015, which caused him to miss the entire 2015 season. In 2016, he experienced right shoulder and neck tightness during his return, leading to a brief IL stint. In 2018, he missed most of the season with the Cubs due to tricep tendonitis, which later developed into a stress reaction in his right elbow, ultimately requiring arthroscopic surgery. 2021, he was placed on the injured list with left hip inflammation. I mean, some of this stuff is just with us now. His season was cut short due to right elbow injury diagnosed as a bone spur and inflammation in 2023. 2024 was limited to 16 starts due to various injuries, including neck tightness, a groin strain, elbow inflammation, and a personal family matter. Obviously, and then this past season, he began the season on the injured list due to right elbow inflammation suffered in spring training, not making his season debut until July. I mean, he pitched the entire. I mean, he's basically pitched the last 2 years for the Padres with elbow problems.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like, I'm going to just equate this back to me and my feelings for a second. When Jacob deGrom got picked up by the Rangers, everyone's thought was, what is the Mets rotation going to look like without Jacob deGrom? Well, the guy's been hurt for most of the last couple of years, so is it really that big of a change? You just know that he's not coming back this time. It's kind of how I feel right now. Darvish hasn't really pitched much over these last two seasons. So how much does this really change the Padres starting rotation, just knowing that he's not going to be back? And if anything, it's a trade-off. You've now traded Yu Darvish for Joe Musgrove because Musgrove is coming back this year. How much does this really change the Padres rotation?
Well, the thing I think a lot of people were hoping was he was going to retire. You don't have to pay him anymore.
Right.
But like, that doesn't sound like he's going to retire. I mean, if he was going to retire, he would have, maybe, I don't know. So you're paying him now. Like he's not going to not get paid to recover and go through the entire process of everything with this medical update. It's interesting to me that was the. I mean, he was talking about the decision. So to me, the only way you get this surgery, and do it quickly, is not so he can go throw in the backyard with his kids. This is so he could pitch.
Yeah, to pitch
at a major league level. And so he made the decision he's coming back because he went and got the surgery last Wednesday. And so now he's going to be under contract for the next 3 years. So here's the deal. You go look at the Fangraphs page for roster research and the payroll and everything like that. and they list the age of what the player's age is going to be come June of 2026. It's like the middle of the season, how old this player is going to be.
Mhm.
June of 2026, the guy's going to be 39 years old. So, and here's the deal. Like Joe
He'll be
Musgrove,
41 when he returns.
he will be probably 40 when he returns. He'll return in 2027. Because like Joe Musgrove got his surgery in October of last year, correct?
Yes.
He got in October, like 2 weeks before. I mean, you got in October too, the 28th. So Joe Musgrove got his surgery a couple of weeks before you did. Relatively the same kind of deal.
Wait. You or me? Because I had a surgery in October last year.
Okay, here we go. Joe got a surgery a couple of weeks in October prior to Darvish getting in surgery in October. And he thought he could try to come back for the playoffs. So he's going to miss the entire 2026 season. And then it'll be the whole, like, maybe he can come back for the end of the October thing, which is not going to be the case, which means he'll be ready by 2027. Because he has this entire offseason, the entire season, entire next offseason. I would imagine he's going to be doing like the pitching that Musgrove was doing at the end of last season, at the end of next season. Now, Joe's younger significantly, so maybe his body can adjust faster. But at the same time, I would expect if this is the case, that you're gonna get Darvish back in 2027 when he's 40 years old. And you're going to get him when he's 40 and 41. I can't believe he decided to get the surgery at this age.
I mean,
but obviously, I mean, the situation of like how he finished, I think, might have played a factor. Maybe he didn't want to go out like that.
I mean, maybe there's also a factor where he could have gotten the surgery just for day-to-day comfort as well. Like at that age, that's probably going to hurt a little bit more than just like a normal thing. So maybe that also played a part in it.
Yeah, that could be a possibility too. But if that was the case, he would have announced his retirement. I mean, he said he wanted to throw and grip the ball again.
No, I mean, like day-to-day comfort as far as I was going to need to get this surgery anyway, so may as well do it. And if it helps me pitch again, great.
I think that would have been announced in the deal.
He's going to miss. Easy money in the chat. He'll miss this entire season, so he will be back whenever baseball comes back after
in 2027. Hey, well, the good news with that is it's probably going to be a shortened season, so he'll probably be fresh and ready to go by the time they're ready to go. Your 2027 rotation is going to have a fresh Joe Musgrove and a fresh Yu Darvish, and that's about it at this point in time. I can't, just at his age, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for him to get that surgery. I mean, he's under contract until he's 42.
Mm-hmm.
So is he going to be able to come back and pitch at age 40, coming off of a Tommy John surgery? I mean, they didn't say it was Tommy John surgery, but they fixed his UCL. That was news I didn't think we were going to get today.
No, we got the Padre news you wanted. Just not the news that we were anticipating or hoping for.
Right. Hopefully the salary's insured.
I would have to assume there's some sort of insurance policy on it. But again, it doesn't really matter because it's not usable salary. You can't.
No, and they still have to pay the whatever.
Yeah.
It still counts towards the luxury tax. That's all that really matters. It still pays towards
the cap. It still pays for it's not usable salary. It doesn't open up $20 million. Or however much he's getting paid.
How many starts has he had in the last 2 years?
That's why I said
a handful.
That's why I said it's like, does it really? I mean, of course, it's big news. It's obviously big, major news that Yu Darvish is not going to be available. But as far as how the Padres build their starting rotation, does it really make a difference? Because of how little he's pitched over the last couple of years.
It does make a difference in terms of money. That's why this is significant. It's not significant in terms of him pitching next year.
He's made 31 starts over the last 2 years.
Yeah, about 15 a year.
16 and 24, 15 this year. To put that into context, he made 30 starts each of his first 2 years here.
Yeah, he's not retiring early. He's just
No.
going to keep. I mean, you don't make that decision to get surgery for one season when it might be like missed most of the year with the lockout that's ensuing, right? I mean, I think all of these had to be part of the equation. I can't imagine he would make that decision for 1 year of pitching, which is going to be a half season of pitching. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. He's locked. He's going to pitch the next. He's going to try to pitch the next 2 seasons. He's going to try to pitch till he's 40-something years old.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer? Just out of pure curiosity.
Probably.
He's tied right now. Texas and the Padres. He's got 5 years of service each.
Well, he's a Padre.
Yeah, he would. Yeah,
he's going to have because next year's going to technically count anyway.
Yeah, if he throws one more year, if he throws one more inning as a Padre, he's going in as a Padre. If he gets elected to,
I think he's going in as a Padre regardless. Even though he had more All-Star years in Texas. I mean,
Yeah, and how about that? He went 16-8 with a 3.10 ERA in 2022. He was not an All-Star. The year before that, he went 8-11 through a 4.20 ERA, and he was. That was his first year here.
A lot of that is just, but the situation of guys opt out and they have to have somebody, right?
Right, I get that. But it's interesting how his 16-win year here, he was not an all-star, but the year he had a 4.22 ERA, which is his second highest of his career before last year.
Let's put it this way. Because people are worried about his contract. It goes down again in 2027. $1 million down.
Right, but the overall cap hit doesn't change though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They care about like the liquidity of the contract per year is also very important to the Padres. So it goes down. But what I'm saying is he's making $15 million in 2027.
And in 28.
Right. But what I'm saying is in 2027, and who knows, those might be all prorated. But because we don't know how the salaries are going to go with these lockouts.
And even that's going down because he was going to get a $5 million dump this year. He was going from 21 to 16 this year.
How do they calculate the AAV? Oh, that's how it was because it was restricted time. Affected the 2024 AAV. I was curious on that because like his AAV has like gone up and down multiple times since he's been a Padre before the contract. So I was curious if it might go down again. No, okay, it's back. It's just 18. So he's just going to count for 18 on the cap regardless.
Yeah, luxury tax is 18 down the board. It doesn't matter how the luxury tax hit goes by the average of the contract. It doesn't go by whether you front or backload it.
Well, I knew that. There was other stipulations that have been used that have changed the AAV in terms of like other stuff like deferred money and all this other crazy things. But what I'm going to say here in a second, we got to go to break. Like, how much is a 4 or 5 starter going to cost in 2027? I mean, think about it. Like, he's going to get $15 million in 2027. Is that worth like a 4 starter? I mean, what do we think Yu Darvish is going to be at age 40 compared to the other 40-year-olds that have continued to pitch and have done an okay job? We'll take a look at that when we come back. Yu Darvish has gotten surgery. He's got to be out for 2026. We'll have more information on that when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. All guests on 97 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I'm Braden Surprenant. He's Frank Marchese. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. For some of you that are just tuning in, we did get breaking news from the San Diego Padres during the last segment, as put out in a press release on a medical update on Yu Darvish. Padres pitcher Yu Darvish underwent successful ulnar collateral ligament repair surgery with an internal brace on his right elbow on Wednesday, October 29th. President of Baseball Operations, A.J. Preller, announced today the procedure was performed by Dr. Keith Meister in Arlington, Texas, and included flexor tendon repair. Darvish is expected to miss the 2026 season, as the timeline for recovery generally is 12 to 15 months. That is the update that we have gotten from the San Diego Padres on Yu Darvish. So, what was seemed to be a conversation of waiting to see if Yu Darvish will retire or not, the question now is, or really the conversation is now about, you're not going to have Yu Darvish in 2026, and you're still going to have to pay Yu Darvish in 2026, unless he got all this done and he's going to retire, which that wouldn't make any sense. So now you're looking at not only, because here was what the situation was before. The situation before, Frank, was if Yu Darvish retired, it would free up money, and then you would have to replace Yu Darvish, but you have the money to replace Yu Darvish as a starting pitcher. Mm-hmm. If he did not retire, yes, you have to pay him $60 million, but he's part of the equation for the rotation. You have a fourth starter, you have a third or fourth starter in your rotation. You're getting Musgrove back. Like, you're going to have some guys that can eat some innings in the starting rotation.
Yeah, but now you've gotten the raw end of both deals. You don't have the guy, and you also don't have the money.
As I was going to say, this is the worst case scenario. You have to spend the $16 million, and he doesn't pitch. So, from a doom and gloom perspective, this is a very difficult situation for the Padres, because now you only have Musgrove and Pivetta in the starting rotation, mixed with Randy Vasquez and internal options that you're going to see if they work. We all saw JP Sears pitch last year. Guys like Matt Waldron, maybe. I mean, there's not a lot to really talk about when it comes to the starting rotation. This is a major area of need. This is also the most expensive area of need. That is why we talked about it a month ago, about how the Padres, it might be in their favor to try to make Mason Miller and Adrian Morejon starting pitchers again. Two guys that used to be starting pitchers.
This really brings that conversation back into the limelight.
You're going to have to give it a shot. For everybody, it's like, well, I'd rather have him sit in the bullpen. Well, in a perfect world, I'd rather have a lot of different things. But you know what? It's not a perfect world, and you got to do it with what you got. And you only have a select amount of dollars to spend. So it's not, and like I said before about this, it's worth giving it a chance, because here's the thing. You can replace those bullpen arms cheaper. It's cheaper to replace bullpen arms than it is to replace starters. I think it's worth giving it a shot. And then if there's potential scare of, I don't know if this is going to work out, he might get hurt, put it back in the bullpen. That's the conversation. See if they can do it during the offseason. See if they can get in shape for the offseason. See if they can, you do the Matt Strahm experiment again. Remember, he bulked up, tried to become a starter, and then it just wasn't going to work. That could be the case. Now, you want to be careful with a guy like Mason Miller. You invested a lot in a guy like Mason Miller to potentially throw him in sort of any type of injury deal. I think a lot of people are afraid of that, which is fair. But that needs to be a conversation during the offseason. But that conversation kind of needs to happen relatively soon, because you got to figure out what you're doing in the offseason in terms of how are you filling out the starting pitching. The farm system's loaded with bullpen arms, and it doesn't really have a lot when it comes to starting pitching. Not a lot that's ready to go. And to be honest, they didn't have too much in general. Now, you know what I saw? Did you see that conversation? Like, the Nationals are interested in potentially trading Mackenzie Gore, and the Padres could be a landing spot. Maybe you go do that now, and you go get Mackenzie Gore back in a Padres uniform. But what this lines up of this is your plan of attack. This is now your situation at hand for the starting rotation. It is try the Mason Miller, Adrian Morejon, both or either or in spring training, buy a lottery ticket with a guy that you're trying to make into a starting pitcher, or you have to start making you got to trade for starting pitching. I don't think the Padres, with what they still need in terms of position players and everything else, I don't think they have the money to go out there and get starting pitching. I really don't. I mean, people are like, oh, go get Shota Imanaga. How much money do you think that's going to cost? They have finite amount of resources. Again, this is the conversation that we have all the time with the Dodgers. People are like, everybody can do what the Dodgers do. Everybody can spend $1.2 billion on a starting rotation. They just got to spend more of their money. It's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. Most asinine thing I've ever heard. They have to go out there and find some starting pitching via the trade market. Because the guys that are on the open market, and again, how about this? I mean, I don't think they're getting Michael King back. And I don't think they're getting Dylan Cease back. And I don't think they're getting either of them back. But you look at the open market. You look at the free agent market right now. Those two guys are some of the best pitchers on the market. Go look at the free agent tracker.
That is a decent. I mean, Street Documents brings up a good point. Severino, possibly.
Yeah, go try to swindle the A's again.
Could try to do that.
You're going to have to make the most of what you got with JP Sears and some of the players that you have on this roster. First of all, that's the answer for a lot of the Padres' problems. But you look at the starting pitchers. Based on WAR last year, the third best starting pitcher available, based on WAR last year, is Dylan Cease. And how many Padres fans, Frank, do you think want Dylan Cease back? A very small percentage.
Yeah, I would say it's not the majority opinion.
Very small percentage. The next guy on the list is Merrill Kelly. I mean, you go down the list. Robert Suarez had a decent WAR as a relief pitcher.
Did you see what Justin Verlander did last year?
Justin Verlander had a 1.6 WAR. That guy was awful.
It took Verlander, 15 starts before he got his first win.
He's 43.
He was 0-9.
He's 43. Why would you? And he ain't signing for anything less than like $15 million probably. I mean, go through it. Go look at the starting pitchers. You want Patrick Corbin? You want Kyle Hendricks? Kyle Hendricks hadn't even touched 92. But they're going to have to get creative. AJ Preller's going to have to get creative with this new news that, one, doesn't sound like Yu Darvish is retiring, and two, he's missing all of 2026 after he had elbow surgery. This is some interesting news. This kind of puts a wrinkle in what's going on with the Padres during the offseason. It does. It puts a wrinkle into it. So to say that, like, nobody's freaking out, but this is the reality of the situation. You need starting pitching. And starting pitching costs a lot of money. And the Padres are not in a position to spend a lot of money because we went through the finances. They have a lot of money already spent. That's why we keep bringing up the whole convert some bullpen arms into starters. And the guys that can do it are the ones that used to be starters, which are Morahone and Miller. Unless Johnny Brito's going to be... Johnny Brito's coming back next year, Frank.
Yeah.
You convert him into a starter? Wasn't he supposed to be one?
He is a starter.
Right. They had to throw him in the bullpen. I guess you got Brito coming back. Maybe Brito could be ready to go. This is like 2 years, but this is like 2 years worth of elbow issues that he's had, and they finally got it fixed. So now you're going to get Yu Darvish at age 40 when he comes back. $15 million. I mean, he comes back in 2027. We don't even know when the baseball season is going to start in 2027. Don't even know if there's going to be a baseball season in general. Could you imagine a baseball season getting wiped out in 2027? That would be awful for all of us. Then you're getting Yu Darvish back at age 41. We don't know if they're going to put in a salary cap or not. How is that going to play a factor? You'd grandfather in most of the players that are on the roster, but now you're looking at $15 million for a 40-year-old pitcher. I mean, that's what Max Scherzer got. Can you justify $15 million? If Yu Darvish in his age 40 season, which is what the last season was for Max Scherzer, if he matches what Max Scherzer did this season, does it justify the $15 million? 5-5 with a 5.19 ERA.
Like I said, it doesn't
85 innings pitch.
It doesn't kill you.
No. Let AJ Preller cook at the Rule 5 draft. Guess who's going to be drafting a lot of Rule 5 picks, maybe.
Luis in the chat, it's not new news. They knew his elbow was busted a year ago. It is new news because now you know.
Now we know he's out.
You don't have him for any part of 2026. He's done. He's out. That's why it's new news.
It just throws a little bit of a wrinkle. The Padres news we're expecting this week that was going to throw a wrinkle in our show was not the news that we just got.
No.
Now we're going to continue the conversation as we head to the next segment. How the Yu Darvish injury impacts the Padres' offseason plans. He's missing all of 2026 after getting surgery last Wednesday. Can you use him at age 40 after this? We'll talk about it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Antonio Sports Station 97 to the Fan. This holiday season, too many San Diegans will go hungry. Join 97 to the Fan and support the San Diego Food Bank. Donate food directly online through our Odyssey San Diego Food Fund, where every donation helps feed local families. Go to 97tothefansd.com and give today. In the next 15 minutes, we will be announcing today's biggest fan. Remember to listen at 1 o'clock for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey suite at a future Padres game with all of the fan staff. Register your name at 97tothefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. We got some new information, some breaking news today from the San Diego Padres about Yu Darvish. San Diego Padres starter Yu Darvish will miss the 2026 season after undergoing surgery to repair a torn flexor tendon and an internal brace in his elbow. His recovery time is 12 to 15 months. That puts a couple of different equations in now for the offseason in terms of your overall plan. Now, this was announced today. He had the surgery last Wednesday. I'm sure the Padres have been informed about this for the last, maybe week or so behind the scenes. So this is not new information for the San Diego Padres in terms of their offseason plans. It is now for new discussion for us. Because what the discussion was going into this offseason was starting rotation is the biggest important thing that the Padres need to address. In fact, AJ Cassavell put that in an article yesterday or earlier today. It was part of his newsletter. And we were actually going to talk about it at this point anyway. Padres' top offseason priority is crystal clear: rebuild the pitching staff. After Michael King and Robert Suarez opted out of their deals and Wandy Peralta opted in, the Padres' pitching depth chart suddenly looks thin, particularly in the starting rotation. This is without the information about Yu Darvish not being part of the deal. Padres do have to make decisions on qualifying offers coming this week. AJ Preller and the front office face critical choices that will shape the 2026 roster. We talked about the players that are eligible for qualifying offers. There's 4 of them. That deadline is this week. It's Michael King, it's Dylan Cease, it's Robert Suarez, and it's Luis Arraez. I'd be offering Michael King and Dylan Cease automatically. Michael King and Dylan Cease will turn down the $22 million deal for a 1-year contract, and the Padres will get compensation picks in next year's draft. Both King and Cease are expected to decline the $22 million qualifying offer and hit free agency seeking multi-year deals. Arraez and Suarez are less likely to get qualifying offers due to roster priorities and cost concerns. If King/Cease decline, the Padres get compensatory picks after the 4th round since they went over the luxury tax. So that's another thing, too, is they went over the luxury tax, so they don't get the same kind of payment back. King and Cease combined for 110 starts and a 3.62 ERA over 2 seasons. Massive production that they have to replace. This is not including the fact that Yu Darvish is also not going to be part of the team next year. No, he did not retire. He had surgery, and he is going to miss 2026. Projected rotation as of now: Nick Pivetta, the breakout 2025 debut with the Padres; Joe Musgrove, who's expected to return healthy from Tommy John surgery; Randy Vasquez, reliable back-end arm. That's kind of it. One of the questions that popped up during this news: what's Yu Darvish's future? I mean, right now it sounds like he's going to try to come back in 2027. You don't even know when that season's going to start. You don't even know how long that season's going to be. And all you do know is you're paying him $16 million this year towards the luxury tax, which is all that really matters. It's the luxury tax in the individual year. I'm sure they'll get money back on insurance and everything like that, but that's money that you were expected to use in starting pitching if he retired, or money that you're spending still on starting pitching because you were expecting Yu Darvish to be part of the equation if he did not retire. Now you get neither. Can the farm system offer reinforcements after multiple trade deadline deals depleting the pitching depth? Not starting pitching. They don't have any starting pitching, really, in the minor leagues. They got a lot of bullpen arms, which alludes to, again, a potential situation in which you try to turn your bullpen arms into starting pitchers. That's a cost-effective way to make a starting rotation. Getting a Mason Miller or an Adrian Morejon to be in the starting rotation. I mean, sure, you could be gluttonous and try to keep as many of those guys in the bullpen. You need to find solutions to these problems. And just saying, I don't want to change anything, ain't going to make any of those decisions happen. Let's just go sign Shota Imanaga. I don't know if you could do that. I don't know if you have the money to do that. Dylan Cease currently is the third best option in terms of F-WAR from last season on the starting pitching market. He is the third best behind Ranger Suarez and Framber Valdez. So unless the Padres go out and try to unload $25 to $30 million a year on pitching, which they haven't done in the last 2 or 3 seasons when they've had free agents leave. So I don't think they're going to be able to do that. They have to get creative. So they're either going to have to convert arms out of the bullpen into starting pitchers, or they're going to have to make some trades and trade again. And the thing with trades, again, as Frank mentioned, bleep them prospects. I mean, at this point in time, you got to find solutions to your major league problems more than guys at the lower level. I'm not willing to trade Ethan Salas for starting pitching. But the thing that's interesting is, you go out and try to trade for Mackenzie Gore. I'm sure Washington will want a lot back. But you have to be able to either convert guys like the bullpen or hope that Johnny Brito and Brian Hoeing and J.P. Sears and Matt Waldron can fill out a rotation. They also have an opportunity to try to go find some fool's gold or really a lotto ticket on the open market where you get a guy in a small contract. Maybe you can find some life in Michael Lorenzen, who the Royals decided not to pick up his option or whatever the situation was. He's 34 years old. Maybe you can go breathe some life in a Mike Soroka. Maybe you could go get Zach Gallen at a cheaper price. I mean, teams need starting pitching. Griffin Canning, cool. Go to convert Dustin May. Maybe Dustin May can help you out. You're going to have to take some chances on some players that are free agents. It worked for Waka and Lugo. It's true. Maybe you can go find another Waka Lugo. Bring Chris Paddock back, Frank. Maybe a reunion with Chris Paddock will work out.
I mean, we made a joke of it, but now, given the circumstances, that's seeming a little bit more like a legitimate option you have.
Was Chris Paddock? I'd love to have Nick Martinez back, let me tell you. It would be great to have Nick Martinez back. When was did Paddock ever pitch for Ruben Niebla? Or was he gone?
I don't know.
Was 2020 his last year in San Diego?
When did Niebla join the team?
He joined the team when Bob Melvin took over.
So that would have been 2022.
That'd have been 22, and he was traded during that offseason. 2021.
Yeah, 21
was his last year. Hey, maybe Ruben Niebla gets the sheriff back. Maybe the sheriff's back in town. There are people cursing us right now at the radio, listening to us say that.
I mean, listen.
But you know what?
We did. It was a joke 3 weeks ago. It was a joke 3 weeks ago. But now with this new news, it's not as much of a joke anymore.
You gotta go give $15 million to Max Scherzer at age 42.
I mean, you gotta kick that tire. See if it has any air in it.
Maybe you give Ruben Niebla a contract extension and give him more money to be a pitching coach for Albert Pujols. I mean, a lot of these problems are not solved by Albert Pujols now.
No, it's all right. But how about we redo your contract again for the 4th time in 4 years? Do you want a little bit more money?
Herman Marquez at age 32. Maybe that's a guy who can help you.
Didn't Herman Marquez, wasn't he suspended for some sort of drug and alcohol issue?
Miles Michaelis, former Padres farmhand, 37 years old. Maybe you could take a chance on him. Preller trying to find the next Kolek in the Rule 5 draft.
I mean, Michaelis was solid. Michaelis was solid with St. Louis. He wasn't bad. Wasn't great.
These are the names that you got to be thinking about. These are the names you got to be thinking about, right? It's guys like Tyler Anderson. It's not guys like Shota Imanaga. It's not guys like Framber Valdez.
No, you can't afford those guys.
That's right. That's why we keep talking about the relievers that aren't making a lot of money in arbitration that used to be starters. That's why that is the conversation. Every game's a bullpen game. Hey, go out there and get Marcus Stroman and the headache that he is. He's 35. I mean, these are the players that you are trying to put together. These are the guys that you need to have success with for a low number. Because everybody's mentioned before, like, oh, it worked with these guys. These are some of the players that you have to go find. So it's either converting some players out of your bullpen to be starting pitchers, or it's signing on some players that you could get for low money, or you sign players that are in their 30s to contracts that are prove-it deals where they have an opt-out, and you get them right before the start of the season. I mean, there could be a situation where, like, Lucas Giolito is unsigned because he wants a big deal, going into spring training, right, Frank?
Yes.
Like, that's like the same, like, Nick Pivetta kind of energy. And then he's like, I need to sign somewhere. Let's do a prove-it deal where I get money for this and I can opt out. That is a situation that I think the Padres are going to have to pursue
but
again.
With an impending lockout and what's on tap on that lockout is a salary cap, a salary floor. Are these players going to be willing to wait that long because they know they're going to get screwed on a deal?
They're greedy, man. You can just tell by the base of the way that they're opting out. If it comes down to that, Frank, in spring training, it's like either sign this deal with an opt-out or you're not going to potentially sign this year, and then you go 2 years out making money. Now you're 2 years older. There's going to be, at one point during the offseason, it's going to flip on the play. It's going to flip to the ownership groups having the leverage. Interesting offseason Padres conversations here. It's 1 o'clock. You know what that means, Frank. We know what that means, right? It's time to announce our biggest fan contestant. I can't. This guy.
I was thinking nap time, but
This guy. He's always in the chat. This guy is our biggest fan today. He's got 10 minutes to call in to be qualified for the biggest fan contest. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Anthony Sandoval and El Cajon. You are today's biggest fan. Anthony, you got 10 minutes to call in to be qualified for our biggest fan contest. Starting now. Frank just hit the timer. 10 minutes for Anthony Sandoval. Paging Anthony Sandoval. You got 10 minutes to call in to be qualified for the biggest fan contest. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. If he calls in the next 10 minutes, he has a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey Suites at a future Padres game with all the fan staff. Register your name at 97throughthefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. Anthony Sandoval. Is he qualified? He call in?
Nope.
All right. I
took
think he is.
Anthony 25 seconds. That might be a personal best.
Not bad for a Saintsman. Anthony Sandoval.
Oh gosh.
He's in the chat. He mentions it all the time.
Oh no.
What happened?
Oh, Gwen and Chris broke it. Both of these shows, our show and the morning show, are 2 for 2. Gwen and Chris, their caller did not call in yesterday, so we are not a perfect 5 for 5.
We're 2 for 2, though.
We are 2 for 2.
Bang. Anthony Sandoval. Rod called in 10 seconds.
There's a joke there. I'm going to leave that alone. Gonzo, do you mind?
Yeah, Gonzo, put the joke in there.
Yeah, you didn't have a problem making the joke earlier. Gonzo, go for it.
Anthony, I could do a lot less than 25 seconds, baby. There it is. Anthony's got some good one-liners in the YouTube chat. All right, the biggest news that we had today, and we didn't get to play the Midday Sports Standoff because we had this breaking news, but if you could take me down to the Midday Sports Standoff this month, Sammy Hagar returns to Las Vegas, and you would be able to qualify for an opportunity to see Sammy Hagar. He returns to Las Vegas with his best of all worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from the Van Halen years, Sammy solo hits, and more. Only in Las Vegas this March 11th to the 21st and September 18th to the 26th at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Not funny, Easy Money. Not funny.
Uh-oh. My screen didn't go black every 5 seconds. I'd be able to read it. But Easy Money said. Oh, my God. Foul. We haven't handed out fouls in a long time. That's a foul.
He draws the foul.
I handed out a foul earlier, too. I forgot what it was. Adam Schefter, LA Chargers trade for an offensive lineman from New Orleans. Live on TV. What year is it? It's 2025, correct?
I mean, that just means that just means the NFL is still wrong.
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. A lot of trades going down in the NFL. We'll try to keep you updated on most of them as they progress. How about the Jets, by the way, racking up a bunch of first-round picks?
Yeah, they've got 3 now through these.
Trevor Story is not opting out of his contract. Anybody surprised by that?
No.
I'm
That's a guy who has underachieved for the entirety of his career after that monster open that he had in Colorado.
Yeah. Cubs have traded Andrew Kittredge back to Baltimore for cash considerations. You know what that means, Frank?
Loan deal has expired.
Yes. He basically was put on loan to the Chicago Cubs. Okay. Let's get to this, one more last time. We're going to talk more about the Padres offseason now, and things are a little bit different as we go to the next segment, the Padres offseason outlook. There's a lot of questions that need to be talked about, bullpen picture, everything like that. Qualifying offers. We do have Major League Baseball's list of qualifying offers we can get to this hour too. But let's put the final bow on this Yu Darvish conversation, I would say, for the day. So it was announced at the beginning of probably an hour ago.
Yeah, it was right at the top of the hour.
Right at the top of the hour. That the San Diego Padres, and they put the press release out, medical update on Yu Darvish, that starter Yu Darvish will miss the 2026 season after undergoing surgery to prepare a torn flexor tendon and an internal brace in his elbow. This is significant for a couple of different reasons. At the beginning part, I mean, you knew, you're getting Darvish, or you're getting Musgrove back and you're losing Darvish. So at least you get somebody picked up. The difference is, though, is you're expecting Joe Musgrove to be able to get you a lot more than just 15 starts a season for 2 seasons, right? That's what Darvish has averaged the last 2 years. He has been having ongoing elbow issues since 2023. So hopefully this is something that they have now fixed. But he's not going to come back until at least he's 40 years old in the 2027 year, which you don't even know if you're playing yet. You don't even know if you're playing in 2027. And if you are playing in 2027, you don't even know what part of the year. So best case scenario, you're getting a shortened. You get Yu Darvish for 1 and maybe a half season, right, Frank? I mean, that's like if everything goes well. So for $30 million, you're going to get him for a year and a half at age 40 and 41 after him performing, getting the surgery done. And you're going to pay him $16 million in 2026 for him not to pitch. And so the conversation was, and we continue to have this conversation now in this particular segment, the conversation was either you're paying $16 million next year for Yu Darvish to be part of the rotation in some capacity, or he retires and you're getting the $16 million to invest in some other type of starting pitching. Now you're paying the $16 million and you don't get Yu Darvish. That is the worst case scenario for the Padres when it comes to their starting rotation for 2026. Now, I will say this, because I saw it in the chat, it is true. These are all of these problems that happen. It seems to happen all the time for the Padres, but, Paul Adam put it in the chat. It's totally true. Every year, no prospects, no money, no roster, yet somehow put a winning product on the field. It's weird how that works. I don't think the Padres are doomed for potentially, making the playoffs. I still think, even without Yu Darvish, the Padres, if the team didn't change anything, And just winning the season like this, I still think they compete for a playoff spot because of the stars that they have signed and the stars that they have under contract. This is still a playoff team. The bullpen is still good. Might be a little bit thinner, still good. The farm system that they have and the bullpen arms they have in the farm could help out there. Their starting lineup is still good. I mean, you don't have to worry about the outfield. Your infield is pretty much set with the exception of first base. You have a catcher now. I mean, the lineup for the Padres, without making any type of improvements, is still a playoff level lineup. Is that a lineup that's going to win in the playoffs? No, probably not. But they will be there. As of right now, we didn't change anything. Made no signings during the offseason, and you just backfilled the roster with whatever you got down there in the minor leagues. They're still a playoff level team. Not a team that's going to win a World Series, but a playoff level team. So they're going to have a successful season, I would think, in 2026. Now, a lot of things will change. But again, you have a playoff it's better than a lot of teams in the National League. So it's not a doom and gloom panic session, but it's an added problem that you're going to have to address during the offseason. And you're either going to have to take you're going to have to try to win the lottery, which you've done a couple of times now with guys like Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha and Michael King. Two of those guys you picked up in free agency. One of them you signed, or one of them you traded for. And so maybe the conversation, maybe it's Johnny Brito is the guy that comes out and shoves next year coming off of Tommy John surgery. You know, maybe Matt Waldron's back. Maybe they get JP Sears to pitch at a high level. I doubt it, but I mean, these are the pieces that get put together as the season goes on. You never know who's going to excel and who's not. But you have a couple of options. You either pull some guys up from the minor leagues in the bullpen and convert some bullpen arms into starters, or, sign bullpen arms and then convert current bullpen arms to starters. The only two that fit that category, Mason Miller, Adrian Morejon. That comes with risk. All of these decisions come with risk. And if you're a team like the Padres that doesn't have a massive TV deal and doesn't have unlimited resources, these are moves that you have to take risks if you want to try to win a World Series. So that's one of the options. Another option is throw a ton of money at the free agent market, but then not improve your lineup. They could also do that. I mean, they have a lineup. They could just roll with what they got and backfill with some Jason Haywards of the world and Nelson Cruzes of the world and old guys that are making less than $1 million. Maybe you fill out a bench with some of those players, or you don't improve your slug at all, but you put a ton of money in a guy like Shota Imanaga, or you put all your money in Michael King. You could do that too. I don't think that's necessarily beneficial either. Or you do the lottery pick. Or you make some trades. And I think the trading is probably a little bit more likely than anything else. Are you going to trade for a rental pitcher? I think it's possible. We saw the rumors that the Nationals were dangling the carrot of Mackenzie Gore. That's something else you could potentially do. Trade for Mackenzie Gore to come back. Since he is in a point where you have a year, I think you got 2 years of control of him. See him back in a Padres uniform. Start looking through the free agent list. You take, hopefully get a lottery pick. In reality, you win the lottery and you can get Ruben Niebla, if he's still part of the organization, to get guys like Chris Paddock on board. I mean, there is risk involved with a lot of these moves that you would have to make. It's just an interesting conversation. And it makes it a little bit more crazy of an offseason for A.J. Preller. I mean, A.J. Preller's got to be creative. We don't know how much money they're willing to spend. We don't know how much money they have to spend. But this news about Yu Darvish performing surgery, getting surgery done, and then missing off 2026 puts a wrinkle in a lot of things. And there's more offseason items that we have to discuss about the Padres, and we'll continue that conversation when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Sports Station 97 through the Fan. 118 on a, what's today? Tuesday? It's a Tuesday. It's Tuesday all day. Got a long week this week.
It's election day, too.
It is. We're only voting on one thing in town, right?
I believe so.
It's the Prop 50 thing.
I think so.
Yeah, because I got the ballot in the mail, and I was like, all right, so what am I? That's it? All right, well, okay. That's easy enough. Anyway, go out and vote. It's an election day. It's also college football playoff announcement day in terms of the first round of the rankings. I slightly care more about that.
Something I think we'll discuss a little bit more in depth tomorrow. We have
this is, you know what? This is what we get for trying to plan ahead. You know what? I thought this was going to be the case when we did some recordings yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
this is not the case because
it still works.
Well, our recordings still work, but I thought for sure we'd get a managerial hire that just screws everything up, which we love. We really appreciate that. But this is what I'm talking about. Off air, we made it through with the first 2 hours. We just ripped through on the show. Well, the entire show we've ripped through. The show's gone by so fast today. You ripped through the first 2 hours, and I go, okay, here's some things that we missed, Frank. Let's get ahead. Let's get this thing planned out so we stay on track and get to everything we want to talk about. And we planned the day before. I mean, I was so excited to get to work today because I knew of all this stuff we're going to talk about. And so I said, we'll do the sports thread at noon. We'll do college. We didn't even talk about the Aztecs yet. Aztec basketball's tonight.
Yes.
I got this big preview for the Aztecs and for USD. Maybe we get to that next. I was like, we'll do that. We'll do the Aztec basketball, college basketball preview. We'll get to week 9 overreactions, in the noon hour, and then at 1 o'clock we'll do this, we'll do that, and then we got the news that Yu Darvish is having surgery, or he had surgery, successful surgery, and he's going to be out for 2026.
This is why
the Padres are the gift that keeps on giving.
No, it's not even that. We were, like I said, me and my friends, we had a league race at Talladega on iRacing yesterday. And they're trying to figure out plans and like doing all this stuff whenever they want to do it. And I'm like, why are we worried about a plan? Because plans never go to plan. So just don't have a plan. Just drive, go fast. It's kind of how we felt today. It's like, why bother having a plan? Because plans never go to plan.
I remember when I was producing, I remember like days where I would get, 2 shows ago, loved guests, right? Frank, how many times do I tell you we need a guest? Never. I don't think I've ever told you we need a guest. I'll throw out ideas like, hey, it'd be nice to have these people on.
We have,
and we have a guest tomorrow.
We have San Diego State cornerback Chris Johnson coming on the show tomorrow. So that'll be fun. That'll be, I believe, at 12:30, 12:20, 12:30 in that area, that time frame.
Right. I like timely guests. I like mixing it up. It's good to get previews of things from coaches or players. I mean, local athletes on is also great. Like, I don't mind. Yeah, 2 shows ago, I like to have almost 3 guests a day. And I was just like, okay, well, this is... And so, like, every morning I'd be stressed trying to find guests for the show. Because it'd have to be timely, too. And so there would be weeks where I'm like, okay, I don't have time to do this. I'm going to... I'd have, like, extra time on the weekend. I'm going to lock in and I'm going to book 3 guests a day for the next 5 days. And I'd get it all together. I'd plan it all out. Here's all our guests. And then we'd get breaking news, and then I'd have to cancel all the guests. And I'm like, this is why I don't do this thing. This is why, or like, I look at the situation with, the guest again with, planning ahead with some of these things. And it would be like, I went out and did multiple emails with a team like you do to get bigger guests. And I'd go through all this effort and be like, we can only do it at this time. And then that would be the time where we'd have to cancel it because it wouldn't make sense. And it'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to get this again. Like, we have to get this guy.
That's why I don't really do stuff like that. Like, if we get a player, like we had players and broadcasters on all the time. I kind of built the show around the guest. Like if I know, like I don't plan the shows out early, but if I get a guest on Tuesday for Friday, then I know, like, okay, well, now we can ease into it. We can fit that puzzle in that way.
So that whole planning thing was like, I knew something was going to happen. That's what we do for planning ahead. See, you get punished for planning ahead in radio. It's better just to like wing it.
Don't plan because the plan never goes to plan.
That's right. We have multiple backup plans for a lot of things.
But then again, if you don't have a plan, then you can't blame the plan when plans don't go to plan.
What plan was that?
No plan.
Plan A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Well, we have some time. You want to talk about college basketball tonight?
Yeah.
Let's talk college basketball.
Let's talk basketball.
We don't have that clue.
There's no liner for that.
Disney did not make a basketball Remember the Titans.
No. Coach Carter?
I don't think they has Let's Talk Basketball.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But like that would be like your equivalent to Remember the Titans for basketball, no?
Coach Carter's a good movie.
Coach Carter's a really good movie.
All right. Mark Ziegler laid out a basketball preview for the Aztecs for 2025-2026. Game tonight's on KUSI, by the way. KUSI picked up all the non-con games that were not picked up by ESPN.
All non-conference games will be on KUSI.
With our friend
announced yesterday.
Steve Quiss on the call. We're going to have to get Steve on the show.
Yes, absolutely.
He could talk UCSD basketball and Aztec basketball, apparently.
UCSD had a nice little win last night.
Yes, they did. UCSD won last night, 105-73. Clint Allard's first career win as a head coach at UCSD. Congratulations to him, friend of the show. Let's talk about Aztec basketball. Okay. It's been 231 days since the Aztecs' humiliating 95-68 loss to North Carolina in the NCAA tournaments, first four in Dayton. National stage blowout still fuels this team's fire, apparently. Junior guard Miles Bird says it's been, quote, our motivating factor all summer. He remembers the sting of being embarrassed on national television and vows the Aztecs won't take that mindset lightly again. The goal now is to turn that embarrassment into energy as San Diego State opens its 2025-2026 season tonight at Viejas Arena against Long Beach State, a matchup with both familiarity and intrigue. Head coach Brian Dutcher says his team is talented, motivated, and ready to grow, but he's realistic. Quote, I know we'll eventually have a good team. Whether we'll have one right from the start, that I don't know. Here's your lineup updates, injury updates. Magoon Guath, the 7-foot sophomore, Mountain West freshman and defensive player of the year from last year, recovering from knee surgery, is likely to make his season debut November 18th against Troy. So don't expect to see Guath until you see the Aztecs take on Troy later in the month. Reese Dixon Waters is back, preseason all-conference, leading scorer from exhibitions, is questionable with an illness tonight. Will be a game-time decision, but he missed all of last year. He is back for the Aztecs in the 2025 season. Questionable for tonight's game, back for the season, though, on the year. He looked really good in the exhibition games, looked really good against USD last week. The rotation at point guard and center remains unsettled. At point guard, you could have Taj DeGorville, who started against UCLA. You can also have Sean Newman Jr., the transfer, who started against USD. At center, same thing. Miles Heide started against UCLA. Farrell Compton started against USD. Dutcher hints this could be a season-long rotation based on performance and matchups. The depth that the Aztecs have it's great. They got great depth. Now, who they're playing? Long Beach State. They're just called the Beach now. Did we talk? Have we bitched, moaned, and complained about this?
No.
They used to be called the 49ers, and then that's mean or something. So now it's the Beach.
I thought that was San Francisco was the 49ers. No, the university, not I know the football team. I thought the university was also the 49ers.
The University of San Francisco, that would be the Dons. USF is the Dons.
Oh.
There's not a lot of Dons out there, but USF and
Oh no, I'm
Cathedral
thinking of Charlotte. They both
Charlotte's the 49ers too.
They both have that dark, like hunter green. That's what I was thinking of. Charlotte.
You just heard 49ers and thought of that.
Yeah.
Long Beach State is the Beach now. I don't know why. The baseball team's still called the Dirtbags, though. So good for them. But the Long Beach State Beach, the Beach, is the dumbest name I have ever heard for a mascot. Their for a team name. Their mascot's a shark. and their nickname's the Beach. Long Beach State Beach. That's true.
Truer words have never been spoken, Nate.
Can we change it to something else? Long Beach State Beach is the dumbest name ever. It's stupid.
When I wrote that for the preview a couple days ago, I was like, I went to like 3 different places to make sure that was right.
The Long Beach State Beach.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's stupid. I will flat out say it.
I didn't even believe their athletics.
The
website.
Long Beach State. I can't. How do you broadcast like that? I've done Long Beach State games. I just call them Long Beach State. I can't because Dirtbags is only for their baseball team.
Also, as we pointed out earlier in the show, Wyoming is not a country.
It's great country
Long
up
Beach
there.
is not a state.
But San Diego is. Just
Yes.
ask the show. All right. So Long Beach State, head coach Chris Acker, former San Diego State assistant under Dutcher for 5 years. Massive roster turnover, 13 new players, transfers or freshmen, only 1 returning player who averaged 5.2 points per game. Former Aztec DeMarche Johnson Jr. returns to Viejas as a beach player after 4 seasons with San Diego State. Early season results, they scrimmaged Point Loma Nazarene, D2 school over here. They lost. So they lost to Point Loma Nazarene in a scrimmage. They did have a convincing win over LMU out of the West Coast Conference by 24 points in an exhibition. Dutcher's take on Long Beach State, as reported by Mark Ziegler in the San Diego Union Tribune, quote, they look like an Aztec team, guard hard, fundamentally sound, well-coached. Game is televised tonight at 7 o'clock on KUSI, part of a 6-game local non-conference TV package after CBS and Fox Sports declined most of those matchups. Steve Quist will handle play-by-play for both men's and women's games on KUSI and the Mountain West Network stream. As noted by Wilbur the Wildcat in our YouTube chat, he is a U of A guy. Also he's the main broadcaster for UCSD, so that's fun. Aztecs have won 18 straight season openers versus unranked teams. They've also won 58 straight games. Blank screen versus Big West teams. Dominance that dates back decades. After an offseason focus on mental reset and toughness, Aztecs are eager to prove last March was a fluke and not a trend. Should be a good game tonight for San Diego State and Long Beach State. Now, as for USD, the Toreros are in action against Occidental. USD against Occidental. A couple of things that they want to do tonight. They want to dominate the paint, something they didn't do against San Diego State, crash the glass, establish high-low action, be able to get to the free throw line, and on defense, trying to set the tone from the jump, high energy and aggression, trying to get some shutout possessions. And what a term that they're using, and Coach Lavin, KYP, know your personnel. Try to make shooters dribble, keep drivers out of the paint, take away 5-man's vision with high hands, ball pressure, the orchestrator of Occidental's offense, and try to not give up transitional threes. And if they could do that tonight, they will be able to beat Occidental. And hopefully, USD should be able to beat Occidental tonight. And hopefully it's a clean sweep for UCSD, USD, and San Diego State. John Ackwood. How about the Banana Slugs versus the Beach? That would be a great game. Yeah, it would. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's get out to Vince in San Marcos. Vince, what's going on, man?
It's a pleasure to be live on the airwaves of 96.7.3 The Fan. Now listen, over 1,000 miles away last night, the Los Angeles Lakers pulled down a W. No LeBron, no Luka, no Austin Reeves. It was great to see the kids holding it down. And one final thing before I go, I had no idea that statesmen were allowed in the chat.
They are. We respect all here. All alumni. Did he have to do the 6-7 part? Was that necessary?
No.
I didn't even know that was a little. I know it's part of a song. I know all the kids do it now. The kids nowadays.
I don't get it.
I saw a lot of the jokes for the Halloween. I don't understand what it is. I don't really get it either. I guess like doing this is like part of the deal. What is this? This is like the deal?
I guess so. I know it doesn't really have a meaning other than just being an annoying child, but I don't I don't get it.
We should ask Chris Ella what it means. I think we should.
Scraby, we just
have Chris Ella do the 6-7 dance or whatever.
Scraby, we just found your new short for your new YouTube channel.
It was so forced the other day. Like 2 weeks ago, I'm driving home from football practice, and Kevin Harlan is doing the game with Kurt Warner on Westwood 1 that is aired here on 97 through the Fan for Monday Night Football. And Kurt Warner tried to force the 6-7 deal. Like, so bad. He tried to force it into the broadcast, and then Harlan's like, really? And then Harlan did it. And I'm like, okay. Once Kevin Harlan and once they start doing it,
there's a certain crop
it's over.
There's a certain crop of people that when they start doing it, it's a dead trend.
We got enough high school parents in our YouTube chat that can explain to us what the 6-7 thing is. They have to know. And if you don't know, just start saying it around your kids, and they'll be cringe and they don't want to do it anymore. We got to try to end some of these like crazy trends that kids do.
And like Mike, SD Mike in the chat even said, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just a thing that happens. It's just a thing that's said. But like, why?
I don't know. I don't get what it means. Don't really care. Where's the beef? I guess. Whatever. We'll be doing it as it calls high school football. Brent Musburger's calling high school football games?
Why not?
I know what happened to him.
He's old
and creepy. He made those comments about that Alabama quarterback. Who was that quarterback
that was
again?
Years ago. I think that was AJ McCarron's girlfriend.
Yeah. Creepy. I guess he's doing high school games. I just saw him the other day. So last night, as I was working on stuff, the ESPN had 30 for 30s running. They had the Catholics versus Convicts one.
Oh, yeah.
Which was good. Brent Musburger was in that. I'm like, it's Brent Musburger. And then it went right into the Fab Five, which has a lot of Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher, obviously. It was pretty cool. Brian Dutcher looks so, I know it's a long time ago. He looks so young on the bench. But the guy, he's such a straight shooter, Dutch.
Yeah.
Such a straight shooter. I mean, even in that interview, he's like, the most important recruit we had was Jawan Howard. Recruit everything else after that. Hilarious. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. When we come back, put a bow on this show and talk about qualifying offers in Major League Baseball. There's a lot of other players out there that might be getting a qualifying offer. We'll talk about it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, Sanga's number one sports station, 97 through the Fan. This hour of Sports Talks brought to you by SD Collectibles. Get ready, sports and Pokemon collectors. SD Collectibles card show is back at Liberty Station with over 100 vendor tables, November 22nd, 23rd. Find sports cards, Pokemon memorabilia, and more. Visit sdcollectibles.com for info. That's sdcollectibles.com. All right. We got some time here. We talked about the college basketball that's tonight, USD and San Diego State. USD is playing Occidental at the JCP. That game will tip off at 6 o'clock. You can watch me on ESPN Plus at 6 o'clock with Jack Cronin. USD basketball, home opener, first game of the season. And then after the game is over, you can go tune into KUSI, watch the Aztecs. You got both games that you can watch tonight. It's great. Steve Quist on the call of the game on KUSI. Should be a fun time, Frank. Look forward to it.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about the college football stuff tomorrow. We will have rankings to break down. College football playoff selection committee is going to release their top 25 today. That's always so exciting.
Once again, I've got next to no work to do tonight to prepare for tomorrow's show.
Oh, getting out ahead. Getting out ahead. Now, with what's going on, Susan, talking about 6'7". What does it mean? If Frank were a Pokemon, it'd be Psyduck. Are you kidding me, Juan? Foul.
I don't.
He draws the foul.
He just throws haymakers at you all the time.
I'm going to give myself a preempt.
He draws the foul.
I don't know what that means.
Psyduck kind of looks like a platypus.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know.
I don't.
It's kind of a lame Pokemon, I think.
Okay.
I think that's where he's going on with that. Because Juan does like to talk smack to you.
If you're going to insult me, make sure I understand the insult.
I see the Yu Darvish news. We had Clark Farenthold on our show. He goes, "Did folks actually think Yu Darvish was going to retire and willingly hand back $46 million in guaranteed money to the organization?" Well, he did that when he was on the restricted list.
Yeah.
Did he not do that?
He did.
He gave money back.
Yeah,
he did exactly that.
He said he would not. Yeah, he said he would not accept payment during the time he was on the restricted list. That he put himself on.
He put himself on the restricted list. Nobody told him to do that. Restricted list is for guys that did bad things that shouldn't be getting paid. He asked to be on it to save the Padres money. He willingly gave back money. So, yeah, he's made so much to a point that is a very believable thing. So who knows? Maybe he does retire. I doubt it now after having surgery. But anyway, let's talk about the qualifying offer decisions. So these need to be done before the end of the week. I think by November 6th, I think when they open up the market, you got to have your qualifying offers in. MLB business calendar flips instantly into free agency, and that begins with the qualifying offer decisions. Each year, teams have 5 days after the World Series to extend a 1-year, $22 million qualifying offer to eligible free agents. Players who accept return on that 1-year deal. Players who accept return on that 1-year deal. Players who decline it hit free agency, and if they sign elsewhere, their former team gets a draft pick. That's basically what this is about. There's certain players that are eligible for a qualifying offer. Since the qualifying offer system began in 2012, we talked about this earlier on the show, 144 players have received the offer. Only 14 have accepted. Since 2012, I'm going to say it again because it's kind of crazy. It's not that crazy, but this is like the likelihood that these guys will actually take on these offers. And most of it is teams only offer these deals to players that they know are going to say no. There's not a lot, or that they're willing to pay $22 million to. 144 players have received a qualifying offer since 2012. Only 14 have accepted said qualifying offer. That's approximately 10%. It's almost always a formality for stars who know they'll command multi-year deals. This year's decisions will shape several rotations and lineups across baseball, and notably affect the Padres, who have 4 players in the conversation. MLB.com basically listed it as big names and then kind of bubble players. Teams have to really think about before they end up bringing somebody back at $22 million that they don't necessarily want. Here's our players that are guaranteed to receive qualifying offers that will almost certainly decline. Tell me if any of these are wrong, Frank. Bo Bichette.
He'll receive a qualifying offer.
I know, but will he accept it? No.
Oh, no.
Edwin Diaz.
No.
No, he won't accept. Kyle Schwarber. No. Ranger Suarez. No. Kyle Tucker. No. Framber Valdez.
No.
None of those guys will settle for a 1-year deal. Expect long-term contracts north of $100 million, especially for Tucker and Valdez, who might be the biggest names on the market in 2025, 2026. Bo Bichette might have considered accepting him to rebuild value after injury, but his 24-25 numbers were too strong to justify accepting a qualifying offer.
And his postseason, I think, was too good.
I agree. I wouldn't accept a qualifying offer if I was Bo Bichette. Then there's the bubble players. These are the borderline qualifying offer cases where teams must weigh the risk versus reward, including several Padres that are on this list. Hitters, Luis Arraez, once an elite contact hitter, 335 batting average from 2022 to 2023, dipped to a 292 with a 99 OPS plus in 2025. His weakest full season. His lack of power or defensive versatility limits his value. I would expect the Padres to not offer him a qualifying offer.
No, would not offer him one because he will accept it.
MLB.com suggests the bigger question on Luis Arraez is whether he even gets a full-time starting job on the open market. Yes or no?
No.
I don't think he does. The only place I think he would get a full-time starting job is probably here. But that ain't for $15 million a year.
He unfortunately, like I said last week, his skill set, he's a player of a bygone era. He doesn't have a place as an everyday player in this league right now.
I don't think so either. I mean, if you look at the teams in Major League Baseball, where
I'm seeing all but who would bat second?
Oh, true. Yeah, who would bat second if we don't re-sign him? That's a good point. If you look at Major League Baseball and just look at the Major League Baseball standings. Look at the teams. Let's talk about the National League.
Mm-hmm.
Where's he starting in the National League at first base? What team is gonna give him $15 million to be their starting first baseman? It ain't Philly.
Cincinnati.
It's not the Mets. It's not the maybe the Marlins bring him back. I doubt it. They traded him the first time.
And he wasn't all that thrilled about leaving Miami in the first place.
Atlanta? No.
When you have Matt Olson, not a
Why
chance.
would Washington spend money on a guy like Luis Arraez right now?
There's no reason.
Pittsburgh.
Possibly.
Not for $15 million. Unless they think that's going to be the guy that's going to buy them tickets, get them tickets. Is he a guy that's a veteran player that's going to sell tickets? Not really.
No.
He could be the cheap star option for a poor team like the Pirates. Hey, look, we got Luis Arraez. Hey, you can't hate us. We're trying. It's not the Cubs. It's not the Brewers. Cardinals. No.
The Reds might.
Maybe. At least they play in a bandbox.
Young team.
I could see the Rockies spending money on Luis Arraez. That's such a Rockies move.
Yeah.
I don't see the Giants and the Diamondbacks, and it goes back to the question here with Luis Arraez, right? And I think this is a fair question to ask when it comes to re-signing these players that are on your team. Are you upset if Luis Arraez, do you think Luis Arraez signing with, are you upset if he were to sign with your biggest rival and play against you? Do you think,
no.
Are you afraid?
No.
I'm not afraid.
I'd be annoyed if he succeeded, but I wouldn't be.
I
scared
would bank on
him.
it not happening. Yeah, I would not be afraid to face him on the Diamondbacks or the Giants or the Dodgers. I wouldn't care. No qualifying offer. Interesting one here. Trent Grisham for the Yankees. Breakout 2025, 34 home runs, 21 on the road, proving it wasn't just Yankee Stadium. High strikeout rate, declining defense, speed concerns complicate things. Do you think the Yankees give him a $22 million 1-year deal qualifying offer?
No.
They're going to lose Bellinger potentially.
Okay.
Are you willing to, the Yankees able to lose Grisham and Bellinger?
Yes.
This is not like your dad's Yankees, though. This is like a cheaper version of the Yankees.
Yeah. No, he's not. They're not going to give him a qualifying offer. I don't see that.
I think it'd be a risky move because I think Trent would take a qualifying offer.
100%. If he's getting $22 million handed to him, he's taking it.
MLB.com thinks Trent Grisham will receive a qualifying offer and take it because the Yankees don't want to lose Grisham and Bellinger and have to redo their whole outfield around Judge.
They've had to do that every single year anyway.
I disagree with MLB.com. I don't know why the Yankees would be with a team like the Yankees that can go get players for $22 million. Why would they go get Trent Grisham?
There's no reason.
No reason. Jorge Polanco, the Mariners, and Gleyber Torres of the Tigers. Productive, inconsistent. Polanco likely stays on a smaller deal. Torres' injury-affected second half hurts leverage. I don't think either of them get a qualifying offer. You think Seattle should give Jorge Polanco $22 million?
No.
Gleyber Torres?
3 or 4 years ago, maybe, but not now.
Dylan Cease? Offer him a qualifying offer. He won't accept it. Exactly. Michael King, we talked about it. Offer him a qualifying offer. He won't accept it. Robert Suarez, don't offer him a qualifying offer. He would accept it.
Yes.
He opted out of 2 years, $16 million. You give him $22 million? You kidding me? No way. Plus, the Padres' bullpen depth is large. And here's the other thing. If he does accept that, if you were to give him that offer, not only would he accept it, but now all of a sudden you're wasting a $22 million on a closer when you need to go get a starting pitcher. Zach Gallen, Jack Flaherty, Shota Imanaga, Zach Eflin, Devin Williams. Any of those guys receive a qualifying offer?
Imanaga probably. That's about it. I would say Imanaga because he would not accept it.
Here's what MLB.com predicted as we go to break. Bichette, Cease, Diaz, Flaherty, Gallen, Grisham, Imanaga, King, Schwarber, Tucker, Valdez, Ranger, Suarez all get offers and decline. Grisham and Flaherty accept. We'll talk more about that as the week goes on. We're about to find out what the qualifying offers are. Quinn and Chris coming up next. I do know that's a given. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Thanks again for tuning in to the Braden Surprenant Show. We'll recap the college basketball day tomorrow on the show.